Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Just having a lot of time now to just get so familiar with the plays and the terminology and all that. So, yeah, I feel super comfortable and just, I feel like I don't have to think a whole lot when I'm out there.
Great group. I mean, offensive line groups are always great. Great people to be around. And with the additions, you got a bunch of vets, you got a bunch of young guys. So everyone's, working hard to coach each other and bring the new guys up to the standard, right, and help them understand it. And then, keep coaching those young guys and get them better.
Yeah, I think just the whole process in general, I was super excited about, obviously the expectations and what we wanted or needed him to do. And to be quite honest, he did a lot of that. As a true freshman, you lose sight of a lot of times, stepping in that environment and what that environment is. And for the things that he was able to accomplish was super, super positive, and I think he can build upon it in the future. There were some ups and downs, obviously, which I thought he handled some of the low points. I thought he handled very well. He's been humble to learn from them and to get better from them. So, as you work through that process, the same thing's going to happen next year, right? And you can rely back on those experiences, how you handled them and how not to handle them or whatever the case may be.
Good morning. Welcome into Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
Oh, we're doing all right.
Yeah, I'm like kind of bugged, but if I find it, I don't know if I'm gonna put it back on. I couldn't find my microphone.
Oh, your little deal here?
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into what we call them, but it's fine. It's fine.
Did it fall off? You having like a germ moment? Is that what's happening? Okay.
Yeah, but it was in my seat, so
You're probably okay. Didn't hit the ground?
No,
I think you're all right.
And I would like to think I know cleanliness is next to godliness, and I am certainly not putting myself into that category. But if you want king hygiene,
yeah,
that's your boy.
That's true. I think you do shower more than any person I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it again at 9:59 in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because I have to start the day over.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I'm not judging.
I know.
It's just not a thing that
It's a mental thing for me.
Yeah.
I'm putting on new clothes. I've got to get dressed up again, and
I get that.
And I have to take another set of clothes because the clinic.
Oh, you're going straight to the football clinic.
Yeah, I have two coaches that are staying behind to take me down there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's like they like you.
And they're all my guys, but it's Coach Williams and Michael Patrick Jernigan.
Well, I was going to guess Sikora was one of them.
No, so at Noonan at David's funeral, he offered.
Oh, that makes sense.
But his daughter it does make sense for him, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He stood there. He's so cool. He stood there. And he and David were close because David got him into strength training.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah.
Right? You got him out of the kind of the penal system, or working in the penal system. Yeah. Kind of believed in him, mentored him, got him into strength and conditioning. So he's kind of sitting there with me right before the rosary. And he goes, well, I can change my daughter's headlights on Saturday and drive back down because he's going to leave early. Go change her lights in her car. He's a total girl dad.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible. But I think that's why he's so chill. Which doesn't make any sense. It's backwards.
I don't know, man. So sometimes you got to roll with the punches.
Man, they're cool. It's a cool little family. They're thick as thieves. He's got the three ladies with Kim and Ruby and Tess and himself. But anyway, so then I said, well, then I did like this. I was guilt-ridden. I was like, just think about it. You don't have to, like, we're under duress here. Like, it's fine. But Williams was like, I got you, because I drive him everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Roadies, and that's my road dog. And he's missed the 12:30 session it's Riola. It's six-man is it six-man protections and run game? I should look it up. I don't know. I like, if you're not at this clinic today, I don't think you really like football. I'm serious. All bias aside, just a lot of good teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I would like to go at some point.
Yeah.
Is it weird? Like, do non-coaches go?
So you do have to be affiliated with a school when you register,
Okay.
but we may vouch for you.
Okay.
Like I don't know if they're checking credentials,
Yeah, like they're.
but I don't
checking,
want
like-
to. I don't want to get in the habit of saying, "Hey, can you do me a solid?" Either.
For sure. No, I get that. That's kind of why I asked, because I would be interested in going just for the education,
Yeah.
but I don't want to. I mean, I'm okay if I'm the only non-coach there, but I don't want to be like asking a favor to go.
The
You know what I mean?
the only downside, and it's not really down, but tomorrow's practice will be viewed by coaches,
Mm,
so you will get many more stories
sure.
about what's out there.
Yeah.
Because they don't really have to operate by the code, and the practice is for them.
Yeah.
So I think you want them to enjoy the experience.
But they can talk a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What if I promised as a media member to leave and not watch practice? You think I would get a waiver?
I don't even know if I should say this out loud. Probably because it's you, but I don't know if they would want to get in the habit of that.
Yeah, no, I get that. I don't want to like set a precedence.
Oh,
I get it.
I
would be fascinated to go though.
I've left
a
closed practice.
Yeah.
That I could not have been at. I could have been at.
And you're just like, this doesn't feel quite right.
Yeah, so it was the initial conversation. There was like this trepidation.
On your part?
No. I kicked the goddamn door down. Boom.
Hey, let me in.
No, I'm just teasing. Because I try not to bother a soul. But no,
you tend to tread carefully. Like you don't want to bother
I
people.
don't say anything.
Yeah, and you don't want to bother people or take advantage of people's trust.
Yeah.
I get that.
I'm like, oh, it's cool. Like, no worries.
Like, I'm not trying to get a scoop. I legitimately just am interested in the football.
No, I know.
You know?
I know. And it's always a few bad apples that truly spoil it for the bunch.
Ruin it. Yeah.
You know, you look at kind of how they're doing the former player thing, and it's
like 99%.
There's no question it's got to be because of a few people.
Yeah.
I just read the thing. Man, I was like, what the world?
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought of you this morning because with the traffic, and if you're on the interstate heading towards Harrison or west on 80, it is a total mess.
Starts about L.
Yeah, and typically I just go through the neighborhood. It's easy. 5 minutes. Bam, here. But I had to take Knucklehead to school because one of our first defensive meetings over common languages this morning. We have meetings over common language. I told you that, right? Starts with the staff.
I think that's important.
And then we get a verbiage sheet. If I'm lying, I'm dying. But anyway.
I like that he thinks of everything.
I thought of, he's so mad over last year. You thought last year was bad? My man stays dialed.
Is he going to be pressing?
Yes. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's the way he likes.
Got to.
But anyway, did you hear Pat, the producer? I'm over it.
Not this morning. No, I didn't.
I was tickled. I chuckled all the way here. I said, you know what? I needed something good. Because, this morning I went with Tracy Chapman. Like
NASCAR?
Heck no.
I don't know, man.
The Promise.
Okay.
If you wait for me. No.
I don't know if I know that one. I'll have to
great song.
I like Tracy Chapman though.
Went with a little Lauren Daigle this morning.
Okay.
Kind of sing-spirational.
Okay, I got you.
So Pat, like that segment provided some levity. Do you know what he was fed up with?
Was this your liverwurst tweet?
Yes. Because Canny was hating on liverwurst.
Okay.
He's like, who goes to the deli section for liverwurst if you're not over the age of 70? Fine. I mean, you can hate. It's cool.
It's not a thing I hear most people eating. That was so.
But I think liverwurst. I think it's pretty fire with a nice slice of cheddar cheese and some Dijon. Not to cue my man Kendrick.
Mustard.
But listen, liverwurst, sharp cheddar cheese, and Kendrick. Mustard! Yeah, like we're rolling.
So to be fair, I don't think I've ever actually eaten liverwurst.
Are you thinking Braunschweiger? It's kind of the same. It's the same thing.
I probably haven't had that either.
It's fire. And my mom used to make a pate for New Year's.
Yeah.
Because she would
you
buy
could,
like
spread it,
these
right?
meats and cheeses, and she'd made her own homemade salami.
Yeah.
She just was very resourceful. And so I like that's one thing from my childhood that I did not run from. Because there's a lot of things I used to eat as a kid
that you're like out on.
Dude, I can't go near a boiled potato.
Really?
Oh, gives me the willies.
To be fair, boiled potatoes are like the worst form of potato.
Making mashed potatoes, the water is seasoned so tough, so I don't have to just smell plain
potato.
There's a sprinkle of bouillon. There's salt, obviously.
That's just the smell. It's not even the taste.
Yeah, and then mushing it with your fork. I'm like,
no, not doing it.
I've earned the right. Nope, not doing it.
So I have had chicken liver mousse, which is sort of like a liverwurst pate, a little bit, I think.
In your former life, were you like, did you use Richie Rich is too soon for you, right?
Yeah.
Like mousse,
Yeah.
That's just fancy air canister spread. You don't have to be like mousse.
That's what it's called. That's the only thing I've had it called.
You know, I put that in the canister and then you shake it up. And
I don't know.
You know, it's like, really?
It's chicken liver mousse. That's the closest thing to liverwurst I've had.
Yeah. The only thing I mess with chicken livers with is in my dirty rice.
It's.
I don't love chicken livers, but I love gizzards.
In the context I've had it, it was pretty good. I don't know that I'd love it all the time.
Yeah. So my man Pat was over going to the deli section and having people get like 6 different things.
Yeah.
And the people that get mad over the extra 20 cents, right? If you ask for a pound and they give you like a little
pound and a quarter or whatever. Yeah.
And they got into how you need this like express deli line. And I'm like, man, I'm torn between 2 lovers, feeling like a fool. Feeling like a fool.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go more Natalie and Bruglia torn.
No. I don't know who the old Rita Coolidge, maybe, Shane? Is that Rita Coolidge?
It could be.
Well, why don't you Google while I'm yapping?
Good help.
And no, don't you do it. You'll be there forever.
I found Rita Coolidge.
Is it torn? Torn between 2 lovers. It's one of those elevator go to the dentist little kid songs. Coolidge. All right, it's somebody.
We're gonna look.
Not Crystal Gale. It's one of those 70s long hair, part down the middle. Put the comb in your back pocket.
Peter, Paul, and Mary?
Sure, that's perfect. That's exactly who I think it is.
Yeah.
Yep. You got the whole comb, feather. Yeah, like that. You get the description?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like the feathered hair, like the very 70s look.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got
So the only thing that I could think of, because I've been that guy. This was back when I was just spending money like willy nilly, right? Hey, I need 3 quarters of a pound of corned beef. I'd like, I'd like the bone-in double smoked ham. I need and I would get like 6 different things.
Yeah.
They'd stamp on a card, and I was like King Boar's head, or I was Timmy DeLusso for a while too. And I'm like, the only thing so I was kind of torn, but then I was like, you know what I would really do that with?
What's that?
People that are at gas stations or in convenient marts that do pick or the lottery.
Oh yeah.
You ever been behind those people?
Yes. Don't do that in line, man.
Now those are people that need their own separate deal.
Get your tickets and keep on pushing. Let's go.
Man, it's frustrating.
You don't need to do the scratch offs right in front of me.
The
Powerball drawing's not even till later. Get on.
Man, you know how the ice maker had hit the fritz, so I just had to buy ice.
Yeah.
I go to like the same triangular 3 places.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get off the quick shop on the corner because I felt like I was being watched. I would always see like the same 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, are they trying to case my shopping habits?
Mm.
Very friendly, very friendly. So it wasn't a cool place to be anymore because I had met one of the guys that worked there who was telling me that he used to do time, or he had done time.
Yeah.
So he was just interesting to talk to, and he'd walk out and get the ice case for me, and he'd always pretend like he couldn't find the right key. And we'd have to talk like 3 minutes longer. And no, I picked up on it. I picked up on what he was.
Like, huh?
So, and he's the guy that like just a couple months ago, he finally called me by name. He goes, Damon. And I go, oh, poop.
Gotta go.
He goes, you didn't tell me what you did. And I said, it never came up. So then I had to go to the knockoff down the road for a while. But anyway, those people, it's crazy. And there are those people that'll do like a lot and then take a little bit of the cash and put the rest towards whatever the thing. And I'm like, this is just, can you just do your boy a solid and say, hey, you only have 2 things. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Is that, I
You
mean,
need
do
one of those-
people still do that?
Every once in a while, every now and then.
Yeah.
You get some decency,
I don't
some
know.
consideration, some kindness.
I don't know. Not as kind as your stupid Warriors last night. And I was in a mood, so anything was going to set your boy off. I mean, I was waiting for like the wind to pick up.
Like, hey, quit being so windy.
I'm like, dang, Steph, chill.
I don't think you should chill. I think you should keep doing this. I like it.
Mm,
I'm a fan of this version of Steph.
Lakers rot.
They got some problems.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Already on the Luka Doncic experiment, you're out? Or just this version of it?
Just this version.
This like iteration of the team.
Yeah, I'd like to see him come back next year. I'm not gonna go all Coach Rule and give a weight, but
A little lighter, a little leaner,
yeah, just pod committed
a little better shape.
and stop letting scrubs just Louisiana go by you. You know what I mean?
You know what we need to do is, because this actually worked a little bit with James Harden, we need to put a compilation together that's so embarrassing and have it go viral on the internet that he decides he needs to play defense. Do you remember that when that happened to James Harden?
Yeah.
Like he got roasted so bad.
And
He's
how
like,
is James Harden like reinvented?
yeah, he's like actually good again.
Yeah, I don't.
This might be like this might be the first time in like a decade I've sort of liked James Harden. What?
How do you go back and forth like that?
Well, because guys don't always play the same. It's not a static thing, right? So, like, when he was playing with the Thunder and was a 6-man, like, he was doing a lot of good stuff.
Now, there's people that I haven't liked.
Yeah.
That I do like.
Yeah.
There's people that I do like. I haven't liked that I do like.
Yeah.
Did I say that different each time?
Some people you start liking and don't like them now. Some people you start not liking and you like them now.
Yeah.
I'll go back and forth.
But I haven't gone back and forth.
So here's the difference, right? So when James Harden
after 1 or 2, they just are what they are.
maybe is not always, right? Because James Harden, first few years in the league, he's a 6-man. He's doing his thing with OKC.
I'm just glad you're entertaining liking something, because Lord knows that's tough.
I like a lot of things.
That's a lie.
Stephen Curry.
It's about the same 7 things that come up.
Well, I like what I like.
That is my line. I love what I love. I don't like what I don't like.
Red Sox, Stephen Curry.
Yeah, bounce back. Way to jinx him asking the questions to Rodgers.
It was a reverse jinx. It worked out for me.
Yeah, they'll be just fine.
No, he was his deal with the Thunder. I thought it was a travesty that they traded him for spare parts and Kevin Martin. And no offense to Kevin Martin, he was a bucket, even though he had one of the
why would he be offended?
ugliest jumpers in league history. But
terrible kind of Waterloo.
And then he goes to Houston and turns into the version of James Harden that I hated. Just the boss dominant, heliocentric, like nonsense flopper, foul shooting, whatever. Hate that version of him.
Yeah.
And now he's sort of playing real basketball again. I'm like, okay, I can deal with this.
You're a wild boy.
I mean, listen,
Mm-mm.
it's like I was in on Luka. I was an OG on Luka, and now he starts playing like a dill hole, and I'm like, well,
There's that word again.
what are we doing here, Luka?
Oh, that's definitely something you guys would say, not me.
You could have been Manu Ginobili 2.0. Instead, you're like, hey, I think I'm gonna be washed Harden.
Yeah.
That's fun for me.
Are you here's my 2 coaches.
All right, we got Dion and Coach Rule.
We have Dion and Coach Rule.
Yeah. Same hiring class.
Good point. Who was it that Ice Cold? Who was it that Frost was always compared to because they were hired at the same time?
So he was hired at the same time.
That 18 class was unbelievable.
Unbelievably bad. Ended up.
It ended up being,
Yeah,
but it
but
had
it was
some
a huge
fellas
star power.
at the beginning.
Yeah. So it was him. Dan Mullen went to Florida.
Wasn't Mullen?
Jonathan Smith went to Oregon State.
He ended up being the best, I think.
Willie Taggart, I believe, was at Florida
He
State
had
that
he
year.
had the comp.
Mario Cristobal got hired at Oregon that year. Who else was in that class?
You know what's funny?
What's that?
I kind of think UCF will be good.
That's pretty good off the top of my head.
It's not who it's
I know that's not the right one, but no, I
well,
don't.
stop leading me down the so that's not helping me.
Well,
By distracting me with shiny objects,
no, I thought it
does
might
not help me land the plane.
I thought it might help us by like thinking of the rest of people in class, and it might like spur the thought.
No, I hear you. I mean, I've arrived at
Yeah,
I've arrived
things
at like much more finite
in more
things
circular
and more
ways.
abstract ways. So don't let me fool you.
I actually wouldn't surprise me if UCF is good. Like
Yeah.
I don't think Scott Frost is an incapable football coach.
Are you watching any of the documentaries?
Which ones?
It's got all sorts of chasing 3 vibes to it.
I
And they
haven't.
stole our guy, so actually they got their guy back that we stole from them.
Fair,
So their videographer went back
but
to
wanted to keep him.
yeah.
Sorry.
A lot of Duval clips as their strength and conditioning.
I
coach.
do like a good strength and conditioning coach.
Did you
Jimbo was at A&M that year? I'm trying to find the rest of the class.
young guy? Why is it not coming to me? TK
Chip Kelly went to UCLA that year. That's not a young guy. We'll find it.
Hey, Kobe's hitting you with caps this morning already.
I don't know what he's yelling about. I'm trying to find who Scott Frost was
He said, Kobe, why are you yelling?
related to.
I am not yelling.
He's just capsing.
Hey,
Jeremy
did you?
Pruitt, Tennessee?
No,
Joe Moorhead, Mississippi State?
no. But I remember once upon a time we thought Moorhead was going to be the deal.
Dude, he had a pretty good run as
Wow, we
coordinator.
thought that dude was going to be. Something.
Chad Morris, Arkansas?
Nope, but him too. There was clamorings to bring him over.
Herm Edwards? No, he's old. Kevin Sumlin?
Mm-mm. He's black.
Matt Luke?
No,
Steve Campbell?
no.
We're getting down to some
Nitty gritty,
nitty-gritty, like so, yeah.
as in the dirt man.
Chip Kelly, Mario Cristobal, Jonathan Smith,
Did your
Sonny Dykes,
maybe it was Chip, maybe it was Buffalo.
Josh Heupel,
No, it wasn't Heupel.
Billy Napier, Sean Lewis.
Buffalo
That's all I got.
Chips.
That's all I got.
Lewis left that job to go to Colorado, to leave Colorado, to take another job. How'd you like to be old Lewis?
You know, it's he was.
You think he was thinking like, "This is it," or would that be Huey?
I don't know that.
This is it.
I don't know that one.
Ooh,
Huey Lewis in the news.
Yes, the power of love there.
Oh, okay, I know that one.
Different song,
But same
love
group.
is in
Yeah,
it.
yeah. This is it. That's a good album. Or it's off of the sports album.
Love is in the air. No.
Oh no! Oh no! Why?
Now that was a look. Like you complain about the looks I give you. That was a disgusted look.
Because that's you care about me, right?
Yeah.
Do you like working with me?
Yeah.
That's the type of response of a song that's going to elicit a response from me that would get me fired immediately. Because I thought it and I didn't say it.
Oh, I know what you were thinking.
Yeah. And you have to be careful which morning.
No.
You have to be careful on which mornings you get me on. If I'm volatile, we got to chill.
All right. We'll try and keep it under wraps today.
All right.
We'll try and keep pushing.
So I've
Not press. Oh yeah. So Dion and Coach Rule.
you asked me something yesterday, and Dion's in the news again this morning. Shocker.
Stunning.
You asked me something yesterday about the 554.
Okay. 554.
Who will be at their respective institutions longer? Matthew Rule or Deion Sanders?
Well, you know how I feel.
There's some Stephen Young to you this morning. How do you feel? How do you feel? We feel good. How do you feel?
I obviously think Rule's in it for the long haul.
It was a cheerleading thing.
I don't know that one.
You don't know that one?
No.
Do you know like rebound and all the other?
No, I know that one. Rebound that basketball.
Hey, REBOUND.
Rebound
that ball.
We didn't spell that much.
Do you know the We Got Spirit?
We got spirit. Yes, we do. We
Nope,
got spirit.
nope. The cool version.
Okay, yeah. We didn't do a lot of spelling.
We got spirit. Yeah, we got spirit.
Oh, I know that one a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, we got what? We got spirit.
Yeah, other schools did that one. We didn't do that one.
You guys, well, that would be. Nah, I was gonna say something else.
That would have a little too much rhythm.
You hadn't quite
turned the corner yet. For Miller North in 2005, it might have been hard to keep the beat on that one.
You hadn't quite turned the corner yet.
It might have been hard to keep the beat.
A lot of things have changed since
when we were still a football school, not a basketball school.
Wow. Well, we may make it through.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Oh, my man, JD, he's a big Huey Lewis fan.
I like being a basketball school.
And but he start with Husker wrestling.
Well, of course. I mean, got to stay on brand there. It does not shock me at all that TK's in on liverwurst. That seems right up his alley.
Give it a try.
I would try it.
Give it a try.
I'll try most things.
Yeah. And I mean, you can get yourself a cracker. There's like 2,222,000 types of crackers now. Have you ever gone to the cracker aisle?
Yeah. They got like almond crackers and all sorts of stuff.
Gluten-free.
Yeah.
They have like, I don't know, sesame, pimento. I don't know. There's 2 trillion different types.
It used to really just be like club crackers and Triscuits.
I remember if it wasn't saltines,
and
I didn't want it.
Oh, I was a big club crackers guy. I love club crackers. They like that buttery. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm out on that. That's why I hate Ritz.
See, Ritz are okay, but the club crackers are good.
Ritz suck.
Ritz are a little dry.
Dry.
The club, yeah, it's like eating a Popeye's biscuit. Like you're gonna choke on that thing.
Why would you mess around with a biscuit at Popeyes?
So here's the
you
deal.
only have so much capacity.
Back in the day, when I was
eating,
I
guess people. It comes with the meal.
I'm not.
You have to sub it out.
I'm not shaming biscuit eaters. I'm just saying
It does sound like a slur, biscuit eater.
Could I spin that?
I don't know.
I'm not shaming biscuit eaters. I'm just saying the way that I approach things is my caloric intake is going to be very, very efficient. There will be no wasting.
So I haven't had a biscuit at Popeyes for a while, but
syrup or honey?
Honey. You don't like honey though.
That's part of your problem. I take honey every day, and I do hate it. It's wretched.
Yeah, I like honey. Honey's good.
Yeah, it rots.
I got some cornbread at a place the other day. It had some honey on it. It was delicious.
I don't eat that either.
Ooh, and honey butter. I'll mess with some honey butter.
I don't eat that either. I just watched a dude do a food review.
I will mess up some honey butter.
Honey butter.
Honey butter is really good.
Yeah, not doing it.
That's the only reason.
Do you know where it was? It was a food review. It was national. It was in North Carolina, but it was for First Watch.
Really?
Yeah, and they were hyping up the $1 Million Bacon. I'm like, First Watch has had $1 Million Bacon here for
years.
I remember going to breakfast with Jack Stark, and I'm like, he ordered it and a piece of dry toast, and I was like, can I get that, but without the syrup? And the dude looked at me like I was special. He said, so you want just a regular side of bacon? I was like, wow. But my point was, no, in my defense, do you want to hear this?
Yeah.
His strips were like perfectly straight.
Oh, okay. So like stylistically, they were what you
So
wanted.
I didn't want don't be giving me the
$1 Million Bacon is good though, but you don't like sweet meat.
No,
but it is good. If you do, it's good.
I'm really good. I want it to look like that, flat, full strips.
But that's actually.
But he tilted his head. He gave me the Ravi. Yeah, like he said that would use side of bacon. That's like. Sure.
I will say that is that's the place I had the cornbread at was First Watch.
That's where he did the thing.
It was cheddar bacon.
That's what he reviewed.
Yeah, and the honey butter on top was phenomenal.
Swear to goodness, that was just this morning.
Yeah, I had that like.
What time did I send you that?
3.
Yeah, it was about that time.
I saw the timestamp and I was like, "Damn, DB."
Man, your boy is fretting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I figured I knew why, but I was like, oof, it's a rough one for you tonight, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
So I can't even remember how I was going to land the plane. Did you by any chance watch?
Who you were asking me who I thought they're longer.
Yeah. Go ahead. I mean, you could take that one first.
I clearly think Rule's going to be there longer. I just don't buy that Deion's in it for
the maths to be a very good question.
No, it does. The way the contracts are lined up, it certainly does. I just don't believe Deion's in it for the long haul.
Yeah. And this is on the heels of Coach Rule saying he's never been happier.
Yeah, I think Coach Rule is good. I mean, to be fair at this point.
Because I was worried.
Yeah.
Not that he was leaving, just that he wasn't in a good headspace.
Yeah.
Dude, it was
a little hectic for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crucial.
Well, and he's been a little different with the media.
You have 50 interviews. You're
Yeah.
hosting people. You're trying to get your program off the ground. The landscape of college football is changing. He's on the road recruit. It's
a lot going on.
Yeah.
And I think I think he's here for the long haul. I would guess at some point Deion takes a different job. Maybe not the NFL. I think at some point the challenges of Colorado are going to be more than he wants to deal with, and somebody else is going to come by with an offer if he keeps winning. Because Colorado is going to be a challenging place to win, long term, in the way college football keeps changing, because they still don't have a lot of money. Like, they're still Deion's helped a lot.
How do you know?
Well, I've got a pretty good idea. For the deficits they were in, if they got out of it in 2 years, then I'm gonna start asking some Bernie Madoff questions.
Or maybe they just hit some tariffs with season tickets.
You got to tariff the season ticket holders?
10%.
Are they gonna tariff Deion's contracts and be like, hey, you get this, we get 10% back?
My man.
Wouldn't that be something?
Just sign him to a smaller contract.
Yeah, I don't think any coach is going for that.
Probably not.
I love that. We'll take a break because I have to get my bearings. But did you watch any hoops last night that was not in the NBA?
Yes, I watched a little Villanova USC.
Awful.
I watched a little. What was the game right before
You
that?
didn't watch UTC and
Yeah. I didn't watch the other Crown game, but I watched
the
NIT.
shot making was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm like, fudge.
That was actually a pretty fun game to watch. Like, I enjoyed it. UCI and Chattanooga.
Yeah.
But I will say, though, that dude missing at the buzzer, that's pretty rough.
I know.
That's a tough way to go out.
And that'll shut that. That's at the end of the season.
They were shot making in the Crown tournament?
Yes.
No, not in the Crown, in the NIT.
Oh,
well, that
okay.
one too.
That makes sense.
The Crown was last night. Villanova SC.
I wouldn't say there was a lot of high-level shot making, though.
I don't know. Wish Dixon would have showed up. But
well,
he eventually got there.
He's been playing for a long time. Maybe it's time to retire. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla, Hurrdat Sports Live. Coming up next.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Building a unit, right, of 5 guys is not always the best 5, right? It's a group of 5 men that's going to work together, and sometimes it might be 6, 7, 8 guys, right? I'm not against rotating guys, so those guys, like you said, have versatility, and we really try to build that through these practices with other guys as well, right? One guy plays on the right for a couple snaps, goes to the left. So, because as you progress through college and you get opportunities in the NFL, you're going to have to be able to play both sides. So, being able to have those guys, veteran presences, right? Henry's over there too, right? They're out there every day coaching. They're in meetings coaching, and they understand the offense at a high level. So I'm very comfortable with them taking those guys, those young guys, and coaching them up if I'm not around. But, yeah, they're doing a great job.
The Mizuno and Oklahoma State softball story is a story of growth and success. After getting to visit the team this fall and watching practice and talking with Coach G, I am confident in this team this year.
The best you is really dang good. I mean, it's really good, okay? So just be that. No more, no less.
Lightning in my fingers, and I'm nice on my feet. Heavyweight big swinger, got you saying double while we're counting to 3.
Mizuno and Oklahoma State softball are built for big moments.
Brace yourself. Coming in high, won't stop.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Well, I tell you, the exciting part of that is Dylan and Jalen are so good at helping them. That makes it so much easier in the room. So, I'll try to speak to both sides of it. You want to try to speak to the highest, graduate level, if you will, as far as quarterback play, but also you want to, coach the details, but also the big coaching points. But when they can kind of intermingle and talk, amongst themselves, that makes life a lot easier for me. So I think the room is in a very, very good place that way, as far as each other helping each other.
We're back here on Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you it's Friday. If you got that whole Catholic thing going on,
It's like, Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. They changed the special out there.
They did, but
there is something out there I'm going to knock off, though.
What's that?
What would you guess?
I didn't see what the specials were.
Can you read?
No.
I can't read.
It was still dark when I came in, so
it was dark for me, too, and I'm blind.
What was it?
I mean, good enough to drive.
Yeah, I got a caveat there. You can see the large objects. It's the little ones.
Devil's in the details. Particulars. The portobello sandwich. Portobello burger.
Okay.
Big mushroom guy.
Yeah?
Especially portobellos.
You can have mushrooms if you're Catholic on a Friday.
Yeah.
Or you can have the fish and chips.
Is that what we were talking about? Or
well, I was going to talk about the fish and chips, but you can have mushrooms too. You just can't have.
You put the comma in your own thought, and then you came back to it.
Yeah,
I do that. That's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, hey, you see how that works?
Maybe more of a semicolon, but
sometimes it doesn't make sense to people listening outwardly, but it's okay. You'll land the plane.
Yeah, it makes sense in my head.
It's all that matters.
It's half the battle.
Well, again, Dion getting the clips. So you know what's funny about listening to that Glenn Thomas clip?
What's that?
I go back to something I thought about putting the staff together.
Okay.
And blending and kind of yinging and yanging and the black and white cookie and all that type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn Thomas and Coach Holgerson have a vastly different delivery, don't they?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Right?
Yeah.
Glenn Thomas, much more detailed and a little analytical and a little long. Coach Holgerson, a little more matter of fact, a little quicker, a little less stuff. That's got to be, in my opinion, that's kind of how I think I would want it if I was a quarterback. I want a big concepts guy, but then I want somebody that can talk to me shorthand too.
Yeah, say like 3 words and you get
right. And it's kind of the evolution in coaching when you get players. I always use. Well, I'll use like Jason I'll use Christian Jones. There were times when he first started where it would be like these. Hey, listen, when two's tempo is when he's fast, you've got to go fast. If he chills, you can chill. Then you can get to the face of number 1.
Yeah.
By year 3, I could say, hey, check the tempo. Just a 6-inch head swivel. And then he knows, right? Like, if he's pushing, give it a quick glance. If he's cool, I'm cool. I don't have to be in a hurry to get out of there. So you want, and we're not afforded the luxury of having, 5 people coach one position.
Yeah.
Contrary to popular belief, you guys that think we have this huge staff.
Ravi. Who's you guys?
Man, what was the first thing you said after being on our sidelines? Yeah, man, you guys got a lot of guys. You guys got a lot of guys.
Well, there were a lot of people on the sideline. That was an observation.
I'm like, hey, man, they all got a job. But so you want at that level when you have a processor like Dylan,
yeah,
you're good with a guy off, like not in game. That's the big picture.
Sure.
The technician, but in game,
you just want to be able to say a word.
Yeah, you want to do. You want to do. That's kind of how I look at Butler and Addison Williams.
So Butler's your philosoph.
100%.
Your big picture guy.
Yeah, because I mean Butler can scheme.
And Addison goes, hey.
Yep. And Snow's kind of like Snow's a little of both, but fundamentally he's so good.
Yeah.
And he's
kind of like your teacher.
He's kind of a human cheat code. He's just kind of a human cheat code.
Yeah.
So I like the fact. It's like Beauty and the Brain. It's like Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
You need a little beast. You need a little beauty.
got a little brain sprinkled in there too.
You know what I mean? It's like, because it's hard for anybody to be one thing.
You think is Donovan close to being both?
Yes, because he's a tremendous technician of what he wants to do. Because not a lot of O-line coaches teach O-line like he does.
Yeah.
But he is very good conceptually too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I kind of get that vibe from him that he's good at both.
Yeah.
Like can be in the room, but
He's
also
very,
in-game.
very good conceptually. So that's why they hit it off so quick.
Mhm.
Because you heard it was a little football jargony for some, but for people that either coach or know football, and he goes, well, that's when you can get into the gap scheme or pin and pull or whatever it is that we want to run. So not everybody can teach everything.
Sure.
I remember when I first coached with Vrzal, I had 19 guys and we weren't very good, and I didn't think we could base block anybody. So I'm like, do you think we can get away with teaching zone?
Mhm.
He happened to be a guy that could do both.
Yeah.
Right. But some guys have their thing. Jim McNally has his thing. Oh, guys have their thing that they like.
Yeah.
And some guys, the more O-line coaches have a grasp of the greater good of the offense, I think the better it is. Now, you're probably more inclined to not getting along with your running backs coach, but that's not new, right? I mean,
why is that? Like, what's the conflict there?
Between running backs coaches and O-line?
Yeah.
A lot of times it's pass protection. A lot of times it's, hey, man, hit the right hole.
Hey, we open the holes, make sure, like, that guy quit dancing and go hit it.
I think historically guys that have been on staffs would agree that a lot of it's not new for it to be a little strained sometimes between O-line coaches and running back coaches.
Is part of that because maybe most is not.
Well, look how we critique people
Yeah.
and publicly
Yeah.
as like fans and media. Oh man, Dowdell and blah blah blah, or the O-line, and sometimes it's not vastly different than in the locker room
Sure.
either. You know what I mean?
Is part of it because and I don't think I'm overgeneralizing here. Most running backs coaches were running backs at some point.
I mean,
it seems like.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Coach Brown wasn't.
Right. Solich was.
Yeah.
Barthel is.
Yeah.
This is anecdotal. I'm just.
McGuire's coaching running backs at Texas Tech.
Sure. He's
it's not as often as you think.
Okay.
Not as often as you think. Now, I do think O-line coaches have played O-line.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't think that about almost any other position.
Oh, fair. I do.
It's anecdotal.
You're right. The reason
Like,
I asked
I can't
is because if I'm a former running back playing running back, I probably felt a certain way when my O-linemen, when I was playing, were like, hey, quit dancing, hit the hole. So when the running backs coach is talking to the offensive line coach, I'd probably still feel a certain way when the offensive line coach says, hey, tell your guys to hit the freaking hole.
Yeah, I remember year one with Coach Williams, back when I was on the offensive side. There would be times where I would say, why slide here? Why not just stay big on big?
Mm-hmm.
Or, why don't we just leave us the end man on the line of scrimmage? But in our offense, because we're so multiple, like quarterback designates he designates the mic. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the middle guy. It's just to count.
Okay, yeah.
So it starts to count. Once QB does the designation, then everybody else fills in. So I don't always love that, especially at the high school level.
Yeah.
But it is a big boy offense. So I don't know what that was. It sounded like Shane breathing in my ear. Shane, is there something you want to tell me that you haven't been able to get off your chest in the last 20
No,
years?
it's somebody outside watering.
Oh.
Using a sprayer. I think.
What do we got, a parabolic mic out there?
I was going to say,
were we at the Crown?
We mic'd over the outside.
Shane, you could have just called my name. You didn't have to.
Say my name, say my name.
Man was like,
no one is around you.
Hey, and for the record, I'm not a blow in my ear kind of guy. Just gonna get that out there. It's kind of annoying.
So you and like Lance Stevenson wouldn't get along real well?
Nah, I probably would have punched Lance in the face. It's kind of weird.
It's a weird dude.
Yeah.
He's a strange individual.
Dude, where's Waldo?
He does not get enough credit for being such a weirdo.
Well,
he's kind of forgotten the history.
Kind of out. I mean, we're out here, right?
we are out here, right?
So I didn't, nothing was too too earth shattering.
No.
Kind of businessy yesterday.
I like Rail a lot though. I like Donovan a lot.
You like Jalen?
Yeah, I do.
I have a little bit of
So
a player crush.
I said this last year, and I don't, it didn't really go anywhere because everybody knew he probably wasn't going to play. But like,
nothing like a good defeatist.
I mean,
Hey, I'm going to throw this out there. It's going to suck.
When you have
I'm going to try, but this isn't going to work.
When you have a 5-star QB coming
Hey, I
in,
know you're not going to like this idea.
when you have a 5-star coming in and an NAI coming in, like the NAI guy's probably not going to play much. And if he does, something probably went wrong. But at both spring ball and the open practice that I went to, like Jalen can kind of spin it.
Yeah.
Like,
I like him.
He's pretty good. Like if I was watching on a high school field and everything being equal, and I'm like, oh, he might still grow a couple inches, or I could project a little bit and he probably wasn't more of a finished product, I would like him a lot.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that he was very disarming. Because you know how I'm always worried about, like I love hard, right? So if I like you, I'm game on.
Yeah, you're in.
But I am very cognizant that I like you more than you like me.
You say that a lot. I don't know how often
He
it's true,
is one of those guys that I know for sure is all in on DB.
Jalen?
Day one, this dude know more about. He ran over to me when I was in the corner about to do this pregame interview.
Yeah.
And couldn't say it. Like I think he wants to do what we do.
I could see that.
He really likes,
although most people think he's going to be a coach, but I get what
yeah, no, I could say it.
Yeah.
But he'll ask Jessica, hey, so, you guys did this, and this, like, what does this mean? Or you brought these guys out here for this. And he'll do that with like Coach Rule. He just wants to know how the inner workings are around all the situations.
Like the whole production.
Yeah, he has very good presence.
So I kind of get the vibe.
He's accurate too.
He really is. Like the dude can spin it a little
Yeah,
bit.
he's accurate.
He's not like your product.
Yeah, doesn't have the huge arm or.
But like the dude can spin it a little bit.
Yeah,
and like reasonably mobile too. Like he can move around.
Little Faker Mayfield.
Yeah, like a little poor man's Baker. I could see that.
That's why I said Faker.
Yeah.
Glad you're vibing, picking up what I'm putting down.
Well, I just want to make sure people didn't miss the pun there.
Did you play like 1-2 pickup stick? Did you play the pickup sticks game?
When I was little.
Okay.
Yeah, I recall it. I probably couldn't tell you the rules right now, but I do believe it involved picking up sticks.
I just asked the question.
What, the red ones and the green ones? Yellow ones with the little magnet.
Sure. Oh wait, what's the thing that attracts things?
The magnet.
Is that spelled with an M or is that spelled with an E or an A?
Gotta keep watering the bamboo.
Like, that was wild.
Magnet, like Megalodon.
Just keep watering the bamboo.
Got to.
Gotta keep watering the bamboo.
I don't know if I have the stones to say that to him next time I see him.
You should walk up and be like, "Hey, I've
Say,
been watering
man.
my bamboo."
Hey man, I want you
Gotta keep watering the bamboo.
I want you to. So you know how a guy's not super approachable sometimes? Yeah. So you'll see him at practice. And he tucks his warm-up into his pants.
Yeah, that's a look.
And his socks are sometimes tucked in. And it's like, that looks awful. But you do it every day.
And clearly does not care.
And I wonder if it's because his O-linemen have to tuck their shirts in the weight room.
Oh, so he's like modeled behavior?
Yeah. It's incredible just to see this great big grown up. Now he's lost a ton of weight.
Yeah, he looked lean.
Well, you should see Dom.
Really?
Oh, I said, man, good genes are good docs. He was like, watch it. I was like, look, man, you don't want this smoke. No, that'd actually be a good fight. But yeah, he's like, I can't remember what game it was. He said, after the season, I looked at myself and he's like, man, this ain't me.
Well.
Yeah, he looks fantastic.
Yeah, good on him.
Yeah. Must be in the family.
Good on him. Yeah, it's a lot going on there now.
It's like you and your brother. One of you doesn't want to be just the good looking one. You both want to be, right?
He's got further to go than I do.
Shots fired.
No, he always knows I thought I was the better looking one.
Shots fired.
That's TV. I'm Ravi Lulla. We'll have Tim Verghese coming up next here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Was walking away from the sport the hardest thing you think you've had to do in your career? How long did you know that it should be Danny Busman Kelly to take over?
And we went hard, and now it's Danny's turn.
Omaha wins a Classic at Tyler Anderson Field. Coach, take us through just what this late run has meant over the past really 8 days. We talked with Drew just a moment ago about that Creighton game. You suffer a loss here at home, but you guys have been rolling since that moment. What's changed with this team?
Well, after last week's midweek with Creighton, we had a really good practice and kind of changed our offensive approach, and really just the whole mindset of the team was the talking point. And we've told our team we'll never be defined by one game, but how we respond in tough moments is going to define the season. So they've done a good job so far, but we've got a lot of work to do, and a really good opponent coming in with North Dakota State this weekend. So the mindset needs to not only stay the same, but take it up a notch for conference play.
Mizuno and Oklahoma State softball story is a story of growth and success. After getting to visit the team this fall and watching practice and talking with Coach G, I am confident in this team this year.
The best you is really dang good. I mean, it's really good. Okay? So just be that. No more, no less.
Lightning in my fingers, and I'm nice on my feet. Heavyweight big swinger, got you saying double while we're counting to three.
Mizuno and Oklahoma State softball are built for big moments.
Brace yourself.
Hey everybody, it's Ravi Lulla from Hurrdat Sports here, and I'm reminding you to get down to Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill because Menu Madness Round 3 has already started. If you haven't been down here yet, make sure you get down and cast your vote because you can win $100 or $50 gift cards here from Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. So make sure you get down here, watch your teams, and vote to win.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
You know, it's man, it's it's crazy, right? Like you got all these people, and you don't know what's really going to happen with every guy in there, and you go after a few guys and see what happens, and hope for the best, right? For the team, right? find guys that's going to help the team win. And, we got, 2 guys that came in and, took to the standard. Obviously Rocco, played for my mentor, Coach Easton, for 1 year. So he understands what's the expectations when, just from playing for Coach Easton. So he's been a great addition, and obviously Elijah as well. So.
Kicking off hour number 2 here on Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DBM Ravi Lulla. Here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, we're joined now by Tim Verghese from inside Nebraska. What's up, Tim?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
TV, how we doing, bud?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Was the move kind of seamless? You still feeling your way through, man? How's it going?
Move's good. Relatively seamless, kind of settling in. I mean, the one thing was just the Wi-Fi setup ended up being I'm in a bigger building now, and so the service I was going to use, no free ads, service I was going to use, it just wasn't working here, so I had to switch back to the company I was using, and so I'm paying a little more for Wi-Fi than I wanted to, but what can you do?
Are you a Boost guy? Can you get one of those little things where it's like
the amplifier?
Yeah, you big amplifier guy.
That's what I try. Like this company that I was with, it was like, hey, you can use this. It boosts it, and I was like, oh, nice, and it's cheaper, and it just didn't work. So
yeah, So outside of like sales at a grocery store, I don't know what people advertise is cheaper. That's actually better. Like, why is it cheaper? I mean, maybe you mass produce it, and so you can shave some costs, but.
I don't know. So I went with, again, no free ads here, but I went with my cell phone. Like, the whole home.
Don't you love the couch caveat? He's so.
Like the whole home internet things from your cell phone company.
Uh-huh.
I switched from one of the traditional ones to that. That's way cheaper, and I have had 0 issues, and I was having problems like monthly before.
Really?
So it's it's cheaper because it's like an add-on to my cell service, but it's way cheaper. It's like a third of the cost.
Maybe that's because your dogs or nobody else in your house ever streams.
Oh no, I stream I don't stream video games.
It's just you though.
Yeah, but I got like 3 TVs going at once.
Ooh. TV. How have we been? It's a lot of moving and shaking. This is kind of where you can shine though, right? I'm not gonna like totally just glaze this thing, but you like to get in the weeds. You'll talk to people, you'll fact find, you can kind of somehow stay ahead of recruiting, who's coming, who's going. Do you enjoy this because of your skill sets, or are you like, man, can we figure out these rules so we could get a little more consistency to the comings and goings?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like a little more clarity. It would help. But no, I don't mind where we're at right now. I think this is this is my favorite part of the recruiting cycle almost every year, because it's like, it's the fact finding, like it's what separates people, like even I'm like learning things daily. Like there's guys coming on campus and I'm like, oh, I really like where Nebraska stands. And then they'll get off campus and I don't really hear from them, or I talk to them and it's like, oh, well, the tone's a little different coming out of that visit. That's weird. And so it's like, oh, well, I guess, things are moving in a different direction, or vice versa, where it's like, hey, guys coming on campus, I don't know where Nebraska stands going in. They come out of the visit. And it's like Kennedy Brown last week. And he's like, what's in Nebraska? And then he's like, oh, goodness gracious, this place is amazing, And so you get both sides of it. But the biggest part is like, right now, I think this is what separates this is the separation season, I guess, is where like top targets start to really emerge, where, okay, hey, these guys are like down the line potential options for Nebraska. But this is the point where, okay, going into the summer, we have a good idea of who the top 26 targets are and who they're not. But this year is a little different, because when you look at for example, I'm probably going to write something on this here soon, but Nebraska's got a bit of an in-state conundrum right now. They have 3 in-state offers out, 2 are committable, arguably 1. You can make the argument only 1 is committable at this point.
Talk to me. Walk me through this here, Tim, old perceptive one.
It's like, okay, if I'm Nebraska and I evaluate if the 105-man roster limit isn't on me right now, Darian Jones probably already has an offer. You and I have we've talked about this. Darian Jones probably already.
He's racking them up. I mean, he's got Wisconsin.
Oh yeah,
Iowa. I mean, there's a lot of folks in the Minnesota. There's a lot of folks in the neighborhood that have offered.
Yeah, I mean, I'd watch that Iowa offer. That thing could move quickly. Hey, there's some mutual love there, and again,
listen,
that would sting. That would sting.
Listen, TV. I mean, for his family to have a son that plays at Nebraska, for me, was an utter shock. We're talking about a family that has Iowa flags and Iowa rocks in their neighborhood. His dad is a Hawkeye through and through. I think Donovan is lucky he loves his son more than he loves his school, because the Hawkeyes and Park, and it's not really going to be Parker, but Coach Woods and those guys, they will do their due diligence. They don't offer just to be offering. They'll make it tough.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. And so I'm very interested to see how that continues to develop. Minnesota's quietly putting together a good DB class. So it's just weird. Like, I'm evaluating this 26 cycle, and you zoom out a little bit, and you're like, well, okay, the region was something they were really focused on. We talked a lot about, locking down the region. And now you look up at South Dakota, and Hudson Parliament's off to Iowa. There's no real clarity on what's happening with Devion Bonwell-Whitty right now. I don't think he's going to end up in the class when it's all said and done. Then you look across to Iowa, and it's like, well, I don't know if they're going to land Jaden McGregory. I think they've really pulled out of that recruitment. Again, they didn't have to do that, but they chose to kind of pull themselves out of that recruitment. And then you look in state, and it's like, okay, well, they may end up with Isaac Jensen and maybe Jace Reynolds.
And he's at Notre Dame right now.
Right. And he's taking a national tour. Like, he's doing the same, not the same thing, but like talking to him, it sounds like what talking to Chase Lofton did around this time last year, where it's like, okay, I think this guy's going to actually explore national options. And if there's the right opportunity outside of state borders, I think he's going to take it.
So give me the offers versus committable.
The offers right now are Isaac Jensen, Deshaun Prince, Jace Reynolds. Deshaun Prince's I don't think is committable anymore. I think both sides have moved on. I think there's other factors at play there, and there's just things to work through. I'm starting to maybe get to that point with Jensen too, just because of how other recruitments are popping up and how you see how other recruitments are kind of popping up around the state. And you talk to Jason, you talk to I think there's still a spot for him at this point, but I mean, I also see Rob Dvorak expanding this linebacker board and building up this type of class where, okay, hey, let's say they do somehow flip Jordan Campbell. Let's say they land Cason Thomas. Like, I think Cason Thomas is higher on the board priority-wise than Jace Reynolds. Like, as much as I think they'd like to keep Jace Reynolds in town, and they made that early offer for a reason, I wonder if you were to ask them and like put a truth serum in them and take them back like a year ago, if they could make an additional in-state offer besides Isaac Jensen in the summer, it maybe goes to Darian Jones.
So
you clearly think DJ will get offered before Braylon Warren?
I think so, but I think Warren has a little more time because he's a 27. But I think he probably deserves an offer. But Nebraska's also put themselves in a position 27 wise where, okay, hey, they're going to be like a hat on the table and probably one of the top 3 for Trey Taylor in June. And if they don't get Trey Taylor, I mean, they blew Keegan Croucher away this past weekend, another 4-star quarterback in that 27th cycle out of Cheshire Academy. I think at this point, I think Darian Jones. I think here's where I sit with it. I think both those guys at this point probably have to camp in Nebraska this summer to get that offer, which is weird. If I was Nebraska, I would already have that offer out to Darian Jones, but I understand wanting to see it in person and all of that. But if you see Donovan Jones, you see what he's doing in practice, and you're like, hey, he's got a younger brother that's bigger, taller, faster, stronger, further along from a football standpoint than Donovan was at the same time, I'm offering that kid 10 times out of 10.
Tim, if I'm sitting here as a Nebraska fan and I'm looking at their 26 class and I'm going, not a lot of names in that group yet. Do I have reason to be nervous? I see a lot of positive things seem to be happening. People love their visits and they love coming here, and you got a lot of guys coming in and out. Don't have a lot of public commits. Like,
You probably got to start with Titan Davis, right?
When does that ball start to roll a little bit more?
Or no?
I mean, Titan Davis is the priority number one. I think he's the most important target on this board, and I put it. You can go read it on Insider's board. I'll give this much, or on my tidbits yesterday. I'll give this much here. I'm starting to get a Dawson Merritt feel from that recruitment. I think no matter what happens this summer, what happens through this official visit season, I'm trending towards I think Nebraska ends up with his signature come signing day in December. That's Titan Davis. But you look at the rest of the class, and it's like, oh, they have 3 commits. Other classes have, so many more. Like, I mean, we're talking about their schools with like 15 plus already right now, But you look at Nebraska and where it's at. I think the run's going to come this summer. I think the weird thing is just I don't think Nebraska's personal timeline for when they want to get this cycle, the bulk of this class in, doesn't necessarily align 100% with the plans of a lot of targets in this class. Like Titan Davis is probably making a summer decision, but that's not a guarantee. He's seen programs like Texas and Georgia very recently enter the mix. Like I could see him playing this out into the fall. I could see both offensive line targets, Kelvin Obot and Claude Mpuma, playing this out into the fall. And so what you're seeing this cycle in general, to just give like a bigger picture view between now and December, Nebraska's honing in because of this 105-man limit and because of NIL and because of all these things. Nebraska's really honed in on like this group of 10 to 15, where in years past, it's a group of like 10 to 30 plus, where you just kind of take the best of that group, put them together and make a recruiting class. Now they're solely seems like they're solely dialed in on like, okay, we have these 10 to 15-ish guys we really want in this class. If we miss on them, then we'll set up contingency options. But right now, we've kind of set up our options. And there's certain positions I'm comfortable at. I think they're going to put together a good running back class. I think they're going to put together a good receiver class. I think this aligned class is going to come together. I just need to see how they do a tackle. I'm confident in the linebacker room, and I'm honestly confident in the DB room, and I'm getting there with the D-line room. I just need to see them get guys on campus, and I need to see the board expand a little bit beyond Titan Davis and Valdensoni, because right now those are really the two guys that I think Nebraska are actual D-line targets for Nebraska right now. I need to see that board expand a little, but my biggest concerns right now are in the trenches and at receiver. It's new position coach at receiver and at the D-line, but outside of that, I think they're going to put together a pretty solid class. It's just going to come together slower and going to be a smaller class than people expect.
And I hope to see him tomorrow. But what are your thoughts on Jaden Warren right now? Let's start with a comp, and then kind of how you've seen the trajectory of what's happened with his recruitment.
Yeah, he's a guy that he got on my radar last track season when he started putting up the times he did, and then you see kind of like
because he's Alvin, right? He's Alvin?
He's Alvin, Texas. Yes. Yeah, so that's a new school out there. So that's for those unfamiliar. So Manville back in the day was like the power, and not even back in the day. I'm talking like a decade and a half-ish ago. Manville was the power back then, and then that area started growing. So they built Shadow Creek. Shadow Creek won a state or made it to the state championship their first year as a program. They continued to put out prospects and develop. Then Iowa Colony came in out in Alvin, Texas. This is the school that Warren goes to, and so did Randall. Both those programs now are exceptionally talented. That part of Texas is just really blowing up right now. Anyway, they've got a pretty talented quarterback. I think Nebraska's in the mix for as well at 27. But anyway, on Jaden Warren, like he's a guy that blew up as a sophomore a little bit just because of the track times. Then you watch his sophomore junior season, you're like, oh, you're expecting like, okay, guy runs 10.5, runs 21.0-ish in the 200 meter. You're just expecting kind of a straight line speed guy. Then you watch his junior film, it's like, oh, he's got like a release package. Oh, he's breaking off like routes like pretty seamlessly, and he's doing a really good job of creating separation in and out of breaks. Like he does a lot of the little stuff well. And then I got to see him at the All-American Combine this year, where he was one of the best offensive players, if not the best offensive player in attendance, just consistently creating separation at all three levels. Did a really good job going outside of his frame, and then can like physically beat people. He's 6'2" with 10.5 speed, like, and closing in on 200 pounds. Like that's a big, strong, fast kid. And so if you're looking for a comp early on, honestly, I couldn't shake it watching his film again this week. He reminds me so much of Matthew Golden, who Da'Keil Shorts landed back in the day. And
don't say that. I think Golden may end up having the best career out of anybody in this draft.
I'm a big fan of Matthew Golden,
Me-
man.
me
Like
too. Me
listen,
too.
I was listen. Come draft day, I'm pulling up the receipts, but there was like I've got in my DMs right now. I've got like read messages to like 10, 15 plus like college player personnel people that I was like, hey, offer this kid like right now. Like, what are you doing? Because there was a long time where it was like Houston, TCU, and that's like really it in his recruitment.
Listen, I fawned over this for how long?
Nope. I mean, all year.
So there's a couple things about him that I like, and I kind of chuckle when I see a lot of people still have him as like wide receiver 3 or 4, some 4 or 5. I'm like, oh, okay. He's a tremendous hands catcher. He's very good in short area burst. He showed better long speed than even I think most people thought he was going to when he timed. And he's tough. He played hurt, which you can't get a lot of wide receivers to do. I don't know, man. I think he's going to function at a really high level in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. He does all the little does the contested catch stuff, can separate, good route runner, consistent hands. Like he's everything you really look for.
And he caught a lot of tough balls. Like
yeah,
it wasn't always rainbows and butterflies getting some of those balls. I was like, fudge, man, nice toe toucher. Like he just had really good feel for what he was doing.
Yeah, and the national consensus is coming around on this, and it has been since the end of the season. But I mean, you look at Texas last year, like when they were in trouble, they went to him, not Isaiah Bond. Like they didn't go to anyone else on the roster. They went to Matthew Golden.
I know Bond.
But yeah, that's my comp for Jaden Warren. That's who I think is the guy. I just think I think there's some similarities there. And yeah, I said it since I saw him in January. Talking to him, I think this is a recruitment where if Nebraska really gets involved and gets him on campus, which they're supposed to do this weekend, they can quickly emerge as the favorite here, just because I'm that confident in Da'Keil Shorts, his ability to recruit the Houston area, and knowing the personalities, both sides of this. I think these personalities are really going to mesh, and I think Dana Holgorsen is going to do his due diligence as well.
Tim, as you kind of look at, you mentioned this being a smaller recruiting class and being a super focused and targeted approach. How much do you think the way they see their current roster developing may impact either sending more offers out or having some offers that are already out become maybe in that uncommittable zone, just based on this guy's maybe a little bit further along than we thought, maybe we don't need help there, versus I'm not sure this guy is going to develop the way we were hoping to. We probably need to bring in another guy.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at I think this is something that people aren't really talking about when they're talking. They blame, hey, it's going to be a smaller class, and they kind of cite the 105 roster man limit and NIL. The other part of this is Nebraska's brought in a ton of young guys over the last few years. Like from a percentage wise, how many just underclassmen are on the roster right now? It's pretty absurd. And obviously there's going to be some cutting to get down to that limit, and there's going to be some moves. But like the DB room, like there's so many young guys in there. Like I think they're going to just take a traditional like 3-4 member like DB room. They could just take 2 or 3 just because of how many bodies are in that room right now. Like, okay, they bring in this freshman class. It's like, oh, Bryson Weber's a little further along. He might be ready by year 2. Tanner Church, a little further along. What if he's ready? Like those are hypotheticals where all of a sudden they can look at the current recruiting class and say, okay, maybe we don't need to swing on this 3-star DB. Maybe we don't need to take, this shot here when we have an established guy like a Bryson Weber or a Tanner Church, or like a Rex. Okay, Rex Guthrie is fully healed. Now we have another body there. Like, that's where I think this class is going to get affected, is some of that. Like even linebacker right now, like with the groups they've put together, it's like, okay, hey, what if Pierce Newberry's a little further than ahead? Then all of a sudden, okay, maybe Rob Dvorak really only needs to address Jack and one middle linebacker instead of trying to go out and get a couple this cycle. Like maybe he just needs to go get one, maybe go all in on like a Jordan Campbell type, and then, help Philip Simpson out with bringing some more Jackson.
From a teaching standpoint, well, let me just ask you, kind of an open period, were you confirming, denying, doing something different when you get a chance to see what's going on at practice? Because you were you were a one-on-ones. Most everybody did one-on-ones last week, right?
Yeah, I spent a good amount of time around the one-on-ones, but I spent a lot of time with the D line just because I wanted to see where body types are at and where bodies are at. I also kept a really close eye, and I noted it last week. I kept a really close eye on Phil Snow with the young DBs. Like I thought that was just instructive, and and a good insight into what this program is becoming and the developmental aspect of all of this. We've seen and heard the talk about it. That's like right there on display. Again, it's when you send your kid to Nebraska, within the first 2 weeks on campus, he's going to be getting hands-on direction from Phil Snow, a former NFL defensive coordinator who's had high success as a defensive coordinator at multiple college stops and has a vast history across multiple defenses of developing defensive backs. And then you get to Nebraska and you're a freshman like a Bryson Weber or Tanner Turch, and within the first 2 weeks, you're getting developed by that guy. Like, that's pretty cool. That's something that you can put on the recruiting trail. I was keeping a close eye on that. And then body types. Like, I think coming off of that, the biggest thing that sticks with me, the line is starting to look like a Big Ten, up top of the Big Ten, top of the SEC type offensive line. And I mean, like, Riley Van Poppel's in really good shape. If you just take the top three of the D line right now, or hypothetical top three, Riley Van Poppel, Keona Davis, Williams, and Bernari, from a size standpoint and from these like off the bus standpoint, they look like it's top of the Big Ten looking good, man. Like they look really good. I was specifically impressed with the strides that Keona Davis made. Like, he looks like a tank right now.
Well, that's my guy, so I'm excited to hear you say that. So as you kind of look at the body transformations of some of the top of the rooms, how do you think that affects their ability? You mentioned how that goes to the recruiting trail, but like, what's the pitch there? If you've got Keona Davis looking like he does, but he hasn't actually produced really at that level yet, like, how does that play with recruits at this point? Or is it still kind of a probably more 27s after he does something in the fall?
It's probably more 27, just pitching him on that. But I think, from a pitch standpoint, I think Nebraska can just kind of cite what happened the last year with Ty Robinson and Ash Hallmar, like the development of Ty under this staff and in general, like the amount of rotation they do defensively. I think Nebraska's never going to have problems on the defensive side of the ball and at wide receiver, pitching guys on play time, because the proof is in the pudding. Like, they show how much they rotate, how many different guys get snaps, and how, like, offensively, there's enough to go around. And I think they're going to show that this year. Defensively, I think it's also like hey, you have an opportunity to shine here, and you can also win. Like there's plenty of proof over the past couple of years of guys coming into the program and winning over playing time, or guys coming into the program, increasing their role, maybe not even being a starter, but moving on and doing productive things at the next level. Like, there's examples of that, and there's also examples of the staff sticking by guys through tough times, sticking by guys through injuries and all of that. Like, I don't really have a problem from a recruiting pitch standpoint at this point.
TV, let me get you out of this. Is Nebraska, it seems like, and I could be fast forwarding, portal's getting ready to come open next week, right?
Yes.
You get the sense that the writing is on the wall for blank amount of guys, in your opinion, at this point?
Ooh, that one's tough. Just off the top of my head,
over or under 10?
I think it's under 10. I think it's under 10 right now. Just because and I was thinking about this very recently. When you look at that number, the guys they kept around and all of that, do you think a former walk-on, or I guess technically current walk-on, has a better shot of making the roster than maybe one of those scholarship guys from like 2-3 years ago we haven't talked about in a while? Because I think they do. I think some of these walk-ons,
I think there's a couple that come to mind.
Yeah, like the way Rule talks about the walk-ons, the way Rule talks about that bottom 10, like the culture raisers, like the Roman Manginis and those guys. But like, I think a Caden Erdentrock, like, that's a guy that's probably going to stick on the roster.
There's a couple that come to mind, and I don't know. So just take this with a grain of salt. Number one, Gage Stenger.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a walk-on deal, but Gage Stinger's a guy that I think is going to find his way into it. Danny King is another guy at tight end that I could see. He's just that room. I think guys just get better in that room. So if you're a guy that goes to work every day, Sat's going to get you right. Like, he's very, very underappreciated. And you look at what's happened with that tight end room in the last year and a half, hard to complain with anything Coach Satterfield's done, outside of the OC all that talk. As a tight ends coach, you should have zero problems.
Yeah, I was going to say, as far as we don't have time to have that conversation today, but we're going to have a conversation about Marcus Satterfield, the position coach, soon, because talking again, they had the number 127 tight end this past weekend. The way that guy talked about Marcus Satterfield, it's like, whoa, man, that's like.
Listen, Tim, for a year, man, DB, you just log on to the Homer Network, and I'm like, no, I'm just telling you, on a staff like that, you need Marcus Satterfield. You just do. You just.
We'll see what happens. I think people need to see with Heinrich, but I'm pretty confident Heinrich's going to have a good fall.
No, you're exactly right.
That's our guy. Our guy, Tim Verghese, inside Nebraska. Tim, we appreciate it as always. Have a good weekend.
Yes, sir. You too. Appreciate y'all.
I love Sat.
Yeah.
As you know.
And, I mean, the evidence is there. For the
I haven't adopted my coach this year.
It's like an adopt a pet.
I took Sat year 1.
Yep.
I had Dvorak year 2. We'll see.
Who's it gonna be?
Tough
year 3?
It's tough choices.
Got some new guys to pick from.
Tough choices.
DB adopts a coach. You bring him little care packages and stuff.
No, believe me, there's not much I can give them that they don't already have. Although, you know what I'm figuring out my value is?
What's that?
Just talking.
Yeah. Hanging around.
Just camaraderie.
There you go.
That's all I got to offer.
Hey, it's more valuable than you can put a price on. That's DB.
Let
Ravi.
you tell it.
More Hurrdat Sports Live coming up next.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Building a unit, right, of 5 guys is not always the best 5. Right, it's a group of 5 men that's going to work together, and sometimes it might be 6, 7, 8 guys. Right, I'm not against rotating guys. So, those guys, like you said, have versatility, and we really try to build that through these practices with other guys as well, right? One guy plays on the right for a couple snaps, goes to the left. So, because as you progress through college and you get opportunities in the NFL, you're going to have to be able to play both sides. So, being able to have those guys, veteran presences, right? Henry's over there too, right? They're out there every day coaching. They're in meetings coaching, and they understand the offense at a high level. So I'm very comfortable with them taking those guys, those young guys, and coaching them up if I'm not around. But, yeah, they're doing a great job.
The Mizuno and Oklahoma State softball story is a story of growth and success. After getting to visit the team this fall and watching practice and talking with Coach G, I am confident in this team this year.
The best you is really dang good. I mean, it's really good. Okay? So just be that. No more, no less.
Lightning in my fingers, and I'm nice on my feet. Heavyweight big swinger, got you saying double while we're counting to 3.
Mizuno and Oklahoma State softball are built for big moments.
Brace yourself.
Hey everybody, it's Ravi Lulla from Hurrdat Sports here, and I'm reminding you to get down to Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill because Menu Madness Round 3 has already started. If you haven't been down here yet, make sure you get down and cast your vote because you can win $100 or $50 gift cards here from Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. So make sure you get down here, watch your teams, and vote to win.
Give me that cheddar, bacon, Rico. Big money rolls like burritos. Give me that hot sauce, no pico. Give me that.
Was walking away from the sport the hardest thing you think you've had to do in your career? How long did you know that it should be Danny Busman Kelly to take over?
And we went hard, and now it's Danny's turn.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
I think there's an element to that, but I think that probably happens after maybe the play breaks down. I mean, based on coverage or whatever the case may be, as far as the route, we want to work that piece of it first. And then if something, goes astray, then I think there's more of a freelancing mentality. But I think there's a fine line of freelancing before the play develops. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think you want to cross that line, but there is definitely the element, there's some great ones, at a lot of levels that, once the element of the play is gone, then you'd freelance. Yeah, for sure. And I think we're in a great place with that. We had a couple, again, off schedule passing. That's kind of what we talk about that way. And, it's something we continue to talk about. The old Bill Parcells, analogy, that's the first trick play of a game is a scramble drill. So, that's definitely an element we talk about and work on and try to practice and perfect.
Welcome back halfway through the show here on Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. I know we talked a little bit about the traffic earlier, but if you're still getting out there, I can't imagine it's that much better, especially where the construction is. So make sure you're paying attention. Don't get distracted. Keep those eyes on the road. You've got one job as the driver. That is to drive. This message from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Some interesting stuff there from Tim.
Yeah.
I think the number's going to be over 10. I think
that have a feel for the portal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would probably say it's more than 10 have a feeling.
I think it almost has to be.
Yeah.
Just doing a quick count, and I know just going through this, through the break here.
You're at 130.
134. I know a handful of those are already not coming back, just from the names I was going across, but not. I mean, I think you're going to be closer to 20 than 10.
If you're at
doing quick
if you're at
maths.
20 now,
yeah,
that's smooth sailing.
Yeah. So,
but I still think.
Well, I guess so. What's your other option for guys to move on? Like, at what point?
Well, I guess when it's open, you want guys to have the opportunity because the next time won't be until before games start.
Right. Yeah. Until pretty late in the process. So, like, if a guy wants to have another opportunity to go play somewhere, it has to be now.
Yeah.
And I know that Coach Rule said in press conferences that there's some guys that'll say, hey, if I get cut, I get cut. I'm either a Husker or I'm not playing. So I would guess that's not the majority, though.
Yeah.
Like
there's one of those guys that comes to mind right now. He's telling the truth.
No, I believe him, but I'm guessing that's a handful.
Yeah.
Right? So let's say.
That are Nebraska or bust?
Yeah, that are in Nebraska, or it's like, I'll just be a student. I'm not leaving. Right? You're going to have to drag me kicking and screaming out of here.
Yeah. There's a couple of guys in the area. And, South Dakota State just had their coaches clinic.
Mhm.
It's the same night of the Rosary. So that was Wednesday
night.
Over at Creighton Prep for the Metro coaches. So there's always going to be the South Dakota State thing because they're highly successful. They win national championships. They put guys in the league. North Dakota State is not as accommodating because that's not really their style.
Okay.
Right? It's very hard to get offers from them. They build from within. Not a big portal group. And then now this may be a couple rungs down, but they do have a guy right down the road that is very good at procuring talent and will move you on elsewhere because of his connections. No, the other direction. Go west.
Young man.
Kearney.
Oh, sure.
Withheld.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's not as attractive on the surface.
Sure, D1 versus D2. Like,
but Held will get you on your way.
I would rather, just me personally, I'd rather go to UNK than a JUCO, personally.
Yeah, as a good student or in general.
If I didn't need to go to a JUCO for academics, I would go to D2 before I went to JUCO.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And that's not I mean, Coach Strohmile's done an amazing job.
No, he's outstanding, and it's a tough program too.
Yes, it is. Just in terms of my experience and talking to, and I know baseball is different. Baseball and basketball are different than football at the JUCO level, but just in general, I think it's easier to be happy at a D2.
Yeah. So
especially if the coach is willing to help you move on.
I don't know how coherent Matty will be. Just because he's in Chicago and who knows?
Yeah.
Right. Opening day. And now he can just freely cuss. So it could be worse. But he's one of these guys that, and you can ask him about it, that just thinks you should plant at JUCOs.
Yeah, I get
with his staff, a staff member, and a JUCO to establish like safe houses.
Oh, I get the philosophy for sure.
Total Denzel.
I think there is a
underappreciated movie, by the way. You ever seen Safe House?
I think so.
They have Shane. Who's your boy that played Deadpool, dude?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Was he in Safe House?
If he is, I've seen that one.
I believe so. That is a great movie.
Safe House?
Yeah, I like that movie.
Is Ryan Reynolds the Safe House guy?
I'm checking.
I don't mean to say they all look alike.
Him and Denzel.
He is in Safe House.
Thank you.
So yeah, I've seen that one. That was pretty quick Google. You see that?
Chalk one up for the good guys.
See that was a quick Google.
Yeah, it bugs me, but you're getting better. How about Severe? You he is impatient. This dude would yell at me during a show every day if I was a little slow. He's like, keywords. Keywords.
So that's one of those things.
So he's not even close to you, and he feels that you're a slow Googler.
So that's one of those things we were talking about, like shorthand language versus coaching, like long form coaching. Keywords doesn't help me. That doesn't tell me anything.
Really?
Yeah. Like I'm searching keywords. I'm searching what I feel to be a keyword. I obviously need more coaching than somebody just saying keywords. You know what I mean?
It's mind numbing to watch you.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna find what I need eventually. But if somebody,
it would be easier to deal with if you could talk while you were doing
it.
But I'm gonna lose you, so that's no fun.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just saying, if keywords was the only thing I needed, it'd be better by now.
Yeah,
You know
I understand.
what I mean?
I understand.
It's like when I'm a freshman in college and I haven't played hoops in a while, and people are like, "Hey, show on that screen." I'm like, "I'm doing what I think show means. I'm gonna need more than that."
Yeah, don't worry, I got you. It's like
you know.
I don't know if it's Teddy Ruxpin, but like, let's be friends. We'll do things together.
Teddy Roosevelt?
No. Wow, you're a Roosevelt guy?
He's an interesting character.
Very.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm riding with him, but he's a very interesting guy.
Let's be friends and do things together.
Is that a Teddy Ruxpin deal?
I think it's Teddy Ruxpin.
I don't know. Teddy Ruxpin's not really in the Rolodex for me.
It's way pre you. I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was still looking at JCPenney catalogs. Montgomery Ward. No, it was a minute ago. What?
Buster!
Why is that funny?
I'll explain when you're older.
Gotta keep watering the bamboo.
It's a different shoot, Shane. Wow.
Like shoot your shot. Shooter got to shoot.
Yeah, sure.
You like John Moran or no?
Shooter's going to shoot. They ended up hanging on last night, right? Was that 108, 106?
Yeah, he had a game winner.
Yeah.
He's still doing.
They tried to tinkle it down their leg.
He's still doing little gun hand signals. So.
Did you recognize anybody really playing for the Heat outside of a couple?
Just Hero.
That dude can coach.
Just Enrique Iglesias. I can be your hero, baby.
I don't need a hero. I don't want to do his dialect either. That's not right. But I almost did.
No, Spoelstra's.
You are my sunshine.
Spoelstra's a dude.
Yeah.
That dude can get after it.
Can I ask about.
You can ask whatever you want.
Punch him right in his soup coolers. Because the Enrique thing made me think of
Rico.
It made me think of Rico.
Yeah, so Rico gave me.
I don't understand. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
we kind of just got him.
Yeah.
And I agree. We love him.
Yeah.
We do.
I know him. I knew him pre-existing, but yes.
But there's lots of people that have affinities for things, and they've never got anything on the show to be displayed. How did Rico get in so good so quickly?
Well, so I've known Rico for a while. He was my producer
That's fine.
Back in Lincoln. So I have a long-standing affinity, so he's not really new to me. And here's the thing. So he loves Carmelo Anthony.
So do I.
And he proactively brought this to me. So that's part of it. I wasn't like going searching for it.
Yeah.
Proactively brought it to me. And I really enjoy giving Rico a hard time about his Carmelo Anthony love.
Carmelo Anthony was amazing. So
And
I mean, I'm just gonna say tread lightly, but it's fine.
well, I'm gonna go in.
Wow.
When have I ever tread lightly? I got heavy feet, DB.
Now, what's wrong with Carmelo Anthony?
A lot of empty calories.
Wow, I'm done. Okay.
So no, here's full disclosure. I don't really have a problem with Carmelo Anthony in general. I do like giving Rico a very hard time.
Okay.
And
so you're just being you.
Yeah, I'm just trolling mostly.
Okay.
I think so. He obviously is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's going into the Hall of Fame. So I was giving Rico a hard time. Like, not a first ballot guy.
Does he get any points for having an amazing kind of wife?
Not for the Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
Not for that argument. And you brought up some things about him being a good member
Yeah,
of the community.
I have an irrational affinity for Carmelo. Like people that know me. I would always say be more mellow. Sometimes when I would tweet out segments, I would always say be more mellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, his foundation has the maximum number of stars you can have. I think it's like 7 for the efficiency and the dollars
how
spent.
much money goes to the actual cause.
Yes.
And not administrative costs and whatever.
And it's always young people. And I'm telling you.
Because he's not a guy that really fits your style, basketball-wise.
Although, so this is impromptu. Do you know why I like Carmelo Anthony?
Why is that?
Because his offensive repertoire was as diversified as anybody I had seen since a favorite of mine that never played for a team I liked. I compare him a lot to Bernard King.
Oh, okay.
Also
a Nick?
I am a huge Bernard King guy.
Okay.
So I know that's
Bernard
weird.
King, underrated scorer. Underrated in general. But
He was prolific.
Like bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah, certified.
He was great at Tennessee. I'm a huge Bernard King.
Did he have a 70-point game? I thought
he might have. For sure 60.
Yeah, for some reason I thought he was on my 70.
Yeah, I'm a huge BK guy. And he reminded me of Carmelo's craftiness in his post game.
Sure.
In his mid-range, like he reminded me a lot of Bernard King.
Yeah, so I don't really have any strong feelings about Melo except
about
to
that
troll
pull?
Rico. Bernard King's a good pull.
High five me.
Nobody
Listen, Shane. Nobody else loves me. I'ma love me.
That's where it starts.
I love me some me. Well, it's my.
Gotta keep watering the bamboo.
I know. I can't wait to see you today.
You
Coach
love me
Raiola.
some. You love you some you.
Yes.
You got to. Listen, this is just a life lesson.
It's not as easy as you think.
No, it's not. It's actually really difficult.
It's really hard.
It's really challenging.
Yeah.
It took some intensive therapy for me to get there. I'm just being honest.
Every time you talk about therapy, I think Black Mirror, not Black Couch, and that's not what I want you to be on. I don't know if you know anything about that show, but
No, I don't watch that show. I've heard it's creepy. Not a fan.
Severe tried to get me in. I was 3 episodes in. Yep.
Pass.
It's even weird for me.
Yeah, it's out there then.
So it's probably pretty good, huh?
You watch some weird stuff. Don't look at me like that.
No, I watch bad movies, but I'm not.
You watch weird stuff though.
Not morally depraved. Like it was weird.
Sure, that's fair. But you watch some strange things.
I watch some bad movies.
Fair. I would call them strange.
It's fine.
Like Russian Rambo is a strange pull. It's bad, but it's also strange that you watch Russian
I like
Rambo.
how you just dubbed it Russian Rambo, but it actually is.
Yeah, you said it's like a shot-for-shot remake.
100%.
So, like, yeah, that's a weird thing to watch.
Yeah, but 3 a.m. pulls are a little different.
They are. And it has to be something that can entertain me without me needing to follow the plot
Like be
because
dialed in.
I'm only reading subtitles.
Yeah. You need not have to dial in real
Yeah,
time.
I have mastered watching things with no sound. I wouldn't opt or choose to be deaf.
Yeah, but you can handle it.
But I could
You
function.
can figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, then you wouldn't have to hear me talk. You just wait for my mouth to stop moving, and then you could go.
It'd be a very hard show to have.
It would be really difficult. You have to get really good at lip reading, probably.
Yeah.
Which I
Or
bet-
maybe like a little on audio to
Yeah, a little
think.
transcriber.
Now, Lord knows, I can't read, so
How big would you have to blow that up on your screen?
like I'm talking today, and it's like there will be no notes
Yeah.
because number one,
You
it
don't
have
like
to
it
be, and it have to be in fat kid font, and I don't write anything down.
Yeah. Well, you also don't like the delivery style when people are just reading off of something. Yeah.
I mean, no disrespect to people that do. When people need to formulate their thoughts.
I mean, you slapped my hand on it before.
Oh yeah,
On ads.
It used to drive me crazy
On ads, yeah.
because you could tell.
Yeah. I've tried to get better.
No, I know. Like shout out.
I'm working on it.
That's the last compliment. I'm not really vibing with you, so that'll.
Hey, I'm tripping.
Why? Because I'm trolling on Mello?
just yeah, I'm gonna say it anyway. It's just unnecessary.
I mean, listen, if I backed off every time you were going to be mad at something I said, I'd just have to sit here sitting on my hands.
I don't know. I've seen other people function on shows like that. They just acquiesce. Oh no, you're absolutely right. Oh no, you're absolutely right.
Is that fun to listen to?
No, it's not.
Oh, my bad. I didn't think about it that way.
No, it's not. But I also listen to a guy do a 2-hour show that doesn't watch sports, so anything's possible.
It's tough out here, you know?
Apparently.
We out here, right?
Apparently.
Oh, do you need to watch sports? Are you in a sports talk show?
Because I think some people think, and you can kind of get you don't have to be me, right? But it reveals itself, and you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get away with it for a little while.
Yeah. I mean, it's not always. I mean, we don't always do hard-hitting recaps. I mean, that's what newspapers are for.
Yeah, I don't find.
Although there are some people that just like to read recaps.
I don't.
And then hit TikTok send.
I don't find.
I'm a stop.
I don't find recap radio all that entertaining, but I will say, a little like behind the curtain here, it's hard to be as impromptu as we are if you aren't really well prepared. Because we end up talking about stuff that never makes it on the rundown.
So at what point? So the rundown is you're always going to do that, right?
Yeah.
In case of emergency, break glass.
Yep.
Okay, because I don't want you to get discouraged.
No, I don't care at all. My favorite shows are the ones.
Because full disclosure,
Yeah.
I read it every night and or morning. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it'll be like. I don't
Sometimes
know.
they go out late.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, he ain't up.
No. Sometimes, honestly, I think sometimes it's Microsoft Outlook just doesn't send it when I send it.
You need to fix that on my phone.
Outlook again?
Yeah, because
It's not working.
I can't open some documents.
Oh, weird.
Is 365 different?
It's like the whole encompassing, like it has all the Microsoft products.
Yeah.
So if you don't have like
I'm doing
Word
a
on your
spreadsheet
phone-
for our players, and I can't even read my own spreadsheet.
Yeah, if you don't have like Word or Excel on your phone, or if you don't have 365, then that might be your issue on opening documents and stuff.
Lord knows I have those.
Well, you know, it's all right.
Who would you hire at A&M?
Ooh, for basketball?
Yeah. I've been wanting to ask you this for 3 days because I still can't believe Buzz.
So I was watching a TikTok on Buzz actually.
Yeah.
That this is what he does.
Yeah, 7 years.
6-7 years.
Yeah.
Because he figured out so I guess he did the research on it that after 6 or 7 years,
One of two things happened.
they no longer look at what the program was when you inherited it. They look at what it's been since you took over,
So you either get fired
or have to get better,
or they lose their frame of reference for
what you've done,
what you brought to the table.
which is kind of the argument I was making for Calipari in Kentucky earlier this year when I was like, hey, he was better at Kentucky than we give him credit
Yeah,
for.
but you were like a goddamn leaf blowing in the wind on Cal. Some days you'd ride with him, some days you wouldn't. I'm like, is this dude a Cal guy?
I'm not a Cal guy. I am.
Take me away. That's Calgon, actually.
I don't know what that means.
Old. Shane, do you remember Calgon? That's back when I don't think dudes took bubble baths, and it would have been frowned upon because there were so many stereotypes.
Yeah.
But Calgon was a bubble bath.
Oh, okay.
Gotta keep watering the bamboo.
Now you got like all the bath bombs, all that kind of stuff. You can do all sorts of things.
No, I don't do any of
You don't.
that.
You look like a bath bomb guy.
I don't take baths.
I don't either.
You
Bath
excited-
bomb, take
you
me
ex-
away?
You excited to sit in dirty water?
No. I can't remember the last time I took a bath.
Probably in your adolescent years.
Nah, before that probably.
No,
I probably had to be a little kid. I don't take bath.
Well, what's adolescent to you?
Adolescent is like teenage. That's what adolescence is.
Could you be 13 in the tub?
I wasn't. I think I was like single.
That delivery, that's not even necessary.
I think I was like single digits last time I was in a tub.
Yeah. Good summer workouts. You get to pick your number.
Yeah, single digits, baby.
I can't wait. So when will that start? Probably July when we'll start trying to get single digits. There's like those vintage summer topics. But I got to get back to Buzz.
Yeah,
and
so-
Maryland and A&M.
Yeah, so it was about time for him to go in his timeline. Man, I don't know because they're late on the cycle now. Like they're late,
way late
on some of the guys that they may have wanted. And Chris Beard already.
Because apparently, if you're in the portal, you know exactly where you're going.
It seems like it, yeah.
I mean, how about your starting lineup next year with Hargrave, Zugic, Green, McAndrews, and Freeman?
Yeah, I like it.
That's pretty good.
I still would probably take one more shooter. At the
No,
wing.
I don't think he's done.
I don't either.
But you
I'll
don't
take
have
it.
you don't have to pay the price tag for Dix.
No, you don't. And you probably there's nobody that I sit there and I go, oh, you have to go get a guy because you do have Hudson Greer coming in too.
I think he's going to be legit.
I do too. You still, I believe, have that Euro big coming in. It's a little different with Euros and eligibility and stuff like that, but I think he'll be available next year as well. So I don't look at that roster and go, oh, they need something right now.
How
'Cause you
about
still have
me
Ty
not?
Davis too?
How about me talking about guys from Charlotte in the portal and not even getting back to Graves and Creighton getting him? Do you like how I couldn't even tease my own tease?
You tried though.
I did, and I totally forgot.
Yeah.
But I mean, the show broke out.
It does. It happens. That's why I don't.
But I meant to land the plane with guys in the portal from Charlotte.
Yeah.
When I was
don't
talking about
mind-
Bryce.
That's what I mind when we don't get to the rundown because like good things happen usually if we don't get to stuff.
I wouldn't say all that.
I will say I don't like with Chris Beard turning them down. I don't know. Like you probably, if you're Texas A&M, you don't go mid-major, right? Like you probably need somebody that's been at a big program.
It's Trev though.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like I don't know what he's gonna do. Like I don't have a good feel for Trev's because like Elko probably wasn't the sexy hire, which that wasn't Trev, but like at A&M, like that's probably not the sexy hire A&M's thinking about, right? And that's sort of the way I'm thinking about basketball, but Elko was still sitting at a Power 4 school. I don't know a sitting Power 4 head coach that's taking that job right now. Do you have a name that you're thinking of? Because like I don't think.
If I didn't like Trev, I would tell him, "Hey man, I think you should really try to pry Hubert away from Chapel Hill."
You know what I was actually thinking?
No, it's kind of scary sometimes.
Like, and I don't think it's gonna happen. But if Hoiberg went, is there any chance that's a win for both schools?
To A&M?
Yeah. I don't think that's gonna happen. Like to be clear. I think that could work out well for both schools though.
A win for both schools. Yes.
Because I think player acquisition might be easier at A&M. And I think Nebraska needs somebody that can win with less to get the more money. Like to get people excited about giving more money.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Fred's that guy.
He should have just done what I said a month ago and people thought I was nuts.
Go hire Preston Murphy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think anybody would be smart to hire Preston Murphy. That guy's good at what he does.
He's arguably the best.
Yeah. No argument here.
He's way up there, I'll say that.
I'm a big Preston Murphy fan.
You should go make a deal. No, I'm not going to promote anarchy.
No.
No.
Make a deal with who?
Just go do like a coach in waiting thing and go pay Huss a ton of money and sit in Lincoln for a while.
I think
knock it off. Knock it off.
Well,
I'm well aware.
I'm just saying. No, if you're
May have other options to do that.
if you're Al Huss, would you take an A&M job?
Yes, but it would have to come with a lot.
Yeah.
And, your boss.
Need some assurances.
Yes. And remember, right now at High Point, he's always going to have the best players.
Yeah. That's not going to be the case in the SEC.
Nope.
Al Huss or McCaslin, if you're.
Oh, that is nice.
Because he's really good.
Because I lack objectivity and I like Huss more.
Yeah.
I'll take Huss. Full disclosure, I typically don't make decisions like that.
Yeah.
But this one I will because it's pretty.
I think it's pretty even.
It's pretty even. So I'll go with
McCaslin's good at what he does, though.
I'll take the likability factor.
Hey, I will too. Let's hope he makes back around these parts one of these days.
Yeah, I don't believe in your suggestive hinting.
What did I do? I just would like Al Huss to return to his roots at some point.
Oh, look, it's a turtle.
Oh no! Coming up next, we're going to talk to Mike Sautter, Hurrdat Sports, NAB Preps here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Was walking away from the sport the hardest thing you think you've had to do in your career? How long did you know that it should be Danny Busman Kelly to take over?
And we went hard, and now it's Danny's turn.
Give me that cheddar, weekend Rico. Big money rolls like burritos. Give me that hot sauce, no pico. Give me that.
Omaha wins a classic at Tal Anderson Field. Coach, take us through just what this late run has meant over the past really 8 days. We talked with Drew just a moment ago about that Creighton game. You suffer a loss here at home, but you guys have been rolling since that moment. What's changed with this team?
Well, after last week's midweek with Creighton, we had a really good practice and kind of changed our offensive approach, and really just the whole mindset of the team was the talking point. And we've told our team we'll never be defined by one game, but how we respond in tough moments is going to define the season. So they've done a good job so far, but we've got a lot of work to do and a really good opponent coming in with North Dakota State this weekend. So the mindset needs to not only stay the same, but take it up a notch for conference play.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Mike Sautter.
Yeah.
Mike Sautter.
Oh, man, you're going to put me on the spot.
Mike Sautter.
Kicking off hour number 3 here on Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We're joined now by Mike Sautter of Hurrdat Sports and NAB Preps. What's up, Mike?
Just my brain is spinning right now. There's a lot going on.
Why?
Here. Oh, just
Do tell.
do people? Well, there might be a pretty big time decision college basketball here soon, like within the hour. From a transfer guard that may or may not have went to a high school in Council Bluffs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's pretty good.
He can't go wrong. He's gonna get paid. You got
end up at a good school.
You got two good school. Like it'd be fine.
He's gonna be more than fine. It's just I root for that guy because I've seen him play a lot.
He's winning. You shouldn't be stressed. You should be.
No, I know. I'm stressed for like if it's the one outcome, then I maybe have some work to do. And if it's not, then I don't have to worry about it. So
yeah, hit send.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm hoping that it'd be really cool to see him end up in a blue uniform. Playing at a place close to home.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about that? So if you've got Greer and McAndrew and Zugic and Graves and Jason Green and Isaac Trout,
Owen Freeman
and
Ty Davis,
Owen Freeman. Not so much Davis. I'm gonna hold on Davis because he's better than Davis
right now. Yes. 100%.
What's the wants versus needs though? Because that has to be a discussion. Because Mac would have to say, okay, I was out there. We talked to him. He's in Iowa City. Like, I know what the going rate is. Do we want to do that?
Yeah, I do think that I think that they won't be able to or haven't been able to match what the highest number is for him at all.
I do think with Dix, I do think style and convenience and opportunity will offset
some of that.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not saying that Creighton offered a hometown like a major discount or anything because they're
paying.
Yeah. They know, but they also weren't going to offer what Indiana or Kansas or Kentucky or wherever else offered. They weren't going to be able to do that.
I still don't think he wants to be that far from his mom. So
and that's why I think that it's a real possibility that it's probably Creighton.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Who plays point guard
for
Creighton? If
Graves
or Dix has played some point stuff too.
He could initiate offense.
I'm not convinced Zugic can initiate offense.
Yeah, but it's going to look a lot different than what it looked like with Ashworth at the point guard. That's what I mean. Like one of those guys. Yeah,
there'll probably be a lot less pick and roll heavy, I would think, with some of those guys. Although I think Zugic can navigate that really well with his passing ability.
And you're going to have two wings that could
just
shoot it at a high level.
So you have a lot more space.
You're going to be able to shoot it at a high level.
You are 100% getting back to let it fly because holy crap! Like if three guys are off, then like the fourth or fifth guy can knock it down. I mean, Josh Dix is for his career, 42% 3-point shooter. That's pretty damn good.
He's about as efficient as they come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And everybody's kind of got their own story. You know, there's obviously the Creighton angle and proximity. There's DeVries at IU with the previous relationships.
Right.
When he was at Creighton.
Right.
Obviously, KU pays top dollar, and you spent 48 hours
KU.
there, and it's KU.
Right. Yeah.
Illinois just kind of hanging around.
Yeah.
God, I'm not buying that.
That's fine.
Brad Underwood takes the A&M job.
I think he's the fave.
Yeah, I've had a couple people ask me in the last 24 hours about Fred Hoiberg, and I'm like, there is no way in my mind I could see Fred Hoiberg being the head coach at Texas A&M.
Just not his stuff.
Although
the ability to just go get a guy, if he had an Otzelberger or an Abdelmassi or somebody like that, or just like,
hey, just go acquire,
go get.
Yeah.
Now that would, because that's when he's been at his most successful, right?
Yes. But it also, the powder keg of
And I mean procuring talent.
Yeah. I just can't see
He had to
him.
blow Abdelmassi out for other reasons, but procuring talent.
Good way.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, go look at St. John's right now.
Yeah. A&M, you could just be like, I need that guy. Go get me a guy, whatever.
Like, I
and
need
then-
1.5 to go get a shooting guard. Go
Dude,
figure it out.
Right.
How about Bryce Hopkins just going to St. John's?
Yeah. I don't think people have talked about that. We're talking about RJ
Lewis?
Lewis too much, I think, on that. Like Bryce Hopkins is pretty good.
He hadn't played basketball much in like 2 years.
I know, but he's still pretty
And
good.
in the conference chilling.
Yeah. I mean, like if he's healthy, he's good, but it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Hey,
and what does RJ Lewis do? Just go to the league? But I guess
think he's got to test his stock, but he could be like, what's his buckets from San Diego State and just come back, right? You're either Portling or what is it? Wachu?
Yeah, Bachi. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Someone's got to save a bag of cash for that guy, though. Somebody does.
I'm sure they will. If he decides he wants to go back to college, someone will pay him, I'm sure.
Yeah. Speaking of, Monday's a massive day, by the way, for like transfer portal. Like people need to be signing contract stuff like today, tomorrow.
Oh, you're talking about because of the 7th?
Yeah. Like if that goes down, like
it would not surprise me though.
Get it over the wire.
If they delayed.
Yeah. So there's 7. I'm reading like all these articles and stuff, and Ross Dellinger at Yahoo Sports had put out one last night. It's great. Like it's a great article. You should read it if you care about this kind of stuff. But he said there's a 7 hours of testimony in like on Monday. So there's probably not a ruling. It'll probably be delayed a little bit.
And once you roll it out, I think you want to roll it out. I think you want to have all the questions answered this time around.
Right. And then just have it done. But it's the whole double dipping thing is very, very, very interesting.
Well, how quickly do you think they could get the committee ready that's actually going to enforce whether you're meeting the criteria of the NIL deal?
Well, so
I would
outsource that, right?
Yeah.
I would hope they're already working on that stuff.
Well, what's the committee of the committee doing that's actually been talking about this? Are they going to be the people?
Yeah, I would hope not, because it's like ADs, right? Like, shouldn't it be other people?
I don't know. I remember way back when we were like, hey, do we want the Treasury Department involved? And everybody was like, no. And I was like, why wouldn't you?
Somebody else. Yeah, like anybody else to regulate
you
it.
needed a neutral third-party bank.
Yeah.
You just did.
Yeah.
Right.
But they went too fast. But nobody really wanted the government in control. And I'm like, well, that's what the NCAA is waiting on.
Yeah.
And then the House comes back and it's like, no, we're good. And then all of a sudden they see the television contracts and they're like, oh, wait a minute.
On the other hand,
this whole taxation without representation. Now they're back in.
Pay that man his money.
Right.
Hey, the one thing back to Hoiberg's deal that I think about is, yes, they're still playing, which has probably hindered some transfer portal stuff for them right now. And also they need to hire an assistant coach at Nebraska.
Yep.
But like we haven't heard nothing solid on they've gotten this guy of the at least 6, probably 8 roster spots that they're going to need to fill at Nebraska. Like, you haven't heard anything yet. So that's what gives me a little pause on the Hoiberg deal. Like, maybe. But again, I can't see Fred Hoiberg's personality dealing with all of that that you have to deal with at Texas A&M. But they got to find some players like yesterday.
Let me ask you something, Mike. Do you think Coach Hoiberg was in college long enough to have a Rolodex?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I feel pretty good about the fact that he already has the person. They're just waiting to get now this weekend over, and it's very important to Fred to finish this thing out with this group of players, and Bryce Williams, who will go down as one of the best Huskers maybe ever to play or put on a uniform, and that was only in a short period of time.
Yeah, he probably vaulted himself into a top 3 or 4 all-time Nebraska pick if you're picking a starting five.
Yeah, he's at least in the conversation.
Yep.
I mean, we had some great. I think it was me. It was Jacob Bigelow, Sipple. We did an all-time Nebraska draft,
like starting lineup.
Yeah, and this was just probably 3 or 4 years ago. And Bryce Williams would now be in.
He'd get picked.
Yeah, I mean, Sip went with like Bill Jackman, and I mean, he went
Go old school on you.
Yeah, I was.
Let's think recent kind of history though. Is you have like Bryce Williams is better than Tran Petaway.
Better scorer, correct?
Right. Like he's
He's better than Roby.
Yeah.
I think for his stint at Nebraska, and he did it longer, he's in the Lou discussion.
Yeah, like in that conversation, I was just going to bring that up, but like you bring up Teron Lou.
The last two guys that were going for 20 a night in the conference.
Yeah, no, I mean you're right.
It sounds crazy.
It does, because I think like, well, he hasn't been there that long, and what's he accomplished? But you're right, like just considering, especially if you're not going way back, like it's. As far as guards, especially, it's probably.
And when you're talking about offensive firepower, the further you go back, the worse it gets.
Sure. Yeah.
Because of style, like.
Yeah.
I mean,
so he has to be in the frontal lobe.
Yeah.
Strick, where's Strick at in that conversation?
I would take him, but I would take Bryce first. Strick wasn't really a scorer.
Strick, the defender guy, is what I'm thinking for like if I'm making a roster. You have to have Piakowski on it.
Yeah, Pike might have been my first pick.
Hoppin
was not my first pick. I didn't get Hoppin. The teams are. I bet Bigelow still has it. Because I think people kind of gravitated towards his team. It was if he was 1, I was 1A, or if I was 1, he was 1A.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing we decided then of the 5 or 6 guys that were doing it was Sipple was last. It was a really good idea by Severe. Severe we did it on air.
Yeah.
Oh.
Huh. Like we drafted.
Yeah, I even remember that.
You remember that?
Where do you put like a Cookie Belcher?
Did I take Belcher? Yeah, I think Belcher might have been my last pick as a two-way guy. And his last year, Cookie could score.
Yeah, he was good.
His last year without T. Lou, and they were boys, thick as thieves.
Yeah.
See, Cook was my guy.
Do you have to take one from each like era? So like you have to take a Hoiberg
era. Remember what the criteria was.
I think you just have to put together a real basketball team. So I'm not gonna like put era restrictions on it, but you can't just pick 5 guards. Like I put together a real basketball.
Right.
And I think I had the greatest 6-man of anybody because I carry Cohorn.
See, I was going to ask about Cohorn.
Yeah, I took him.
That dude could shoot.
Man.
Hey, none of these guys we're talking about are Carmelo Anthony, though.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. I hate the Knicks. And I there's other teams that I would associate Melo with, i.e. the Nuggets. But I love Carmelo Anthony. Like,
really?
Yes, I'm a huge Melo guy.
I associate him with the Nuggets.
Do you?
Yeah,
him and Iverson. Those guys couldn't really. They had to drive Carl crazy.
Well, was Chauncey on one of those teams?
Mm-hmm.
Chauncey was on one of those teams.
Yeah.
Was it Kenyon?
Kenyon Martin was there.
Was on one of those teams. Yeah.
Although I still think Kenyon Martin. I watch him on his podcast. I think he would fight George Karl.
Man, let me tell you, I will never forget. Growing up, that Cincinnati team. If he doesn't get hurt, they're winning the Natty, and it wouldn't have been close.
So not to go all revisionist history, but I do think they had one of the most underrated, prolific bucket getters in NCAA history.
On those Martin teams?
Nick Van Exel.
Van Exel, yeah.
Was incredible.
Yeah.
He was a bucket and a bad offensive system.
Yeah.
Like Cincinnati, they stole on the glass and go get it. I'm like, no, go back and watch Van Exel. That dude was incredible.
I'm pretty sure I still have newspaper clippings of that team in their Final Four run. I know I have newspaper clippings of the Fab Fives run to the Final Four. I know I have it in a notebook. It's right over there.
I'm still out on a limb. My favorite of the Fab Five was Jimmy King, and I think people think I'm crazy, but
I can see that.
I was a big Jimmy King guy. Why? You thought I was going to say like Ray Jackson or somebody?
No, because I knew it wasn't going to be one of the 2 good ones.
This is what he's been on basically our entire radio career, but the last 3 or 4 weeks, dude is just super comfortable with like just bombs.
It's not Chris Webber.
And it's his delivery. Do you like the smug prickness in him though? He's like,
yeah.
I just knew it wasn't going to be one of the two good ones. Like,
I meant to say popular.
Sure
I meant to say popular.
Sure you did.
Because you weren't gonna. I knew it wasn't gonna be one of the two guys that everybody else likes.
The ones that actually played in the NBA, you mean?
I didn't like Jalen Rose's game, and I've always disliked Weber. So
why not? He gifted you a title.
Yeah, he did.
There you go. I could be Weber's biggest fan.
I was in my dorm room, literally in my dorm room, watching that game by my lonesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're like, hey, call the timeout.
There's two memorable Carolina games for me.
Yeah.
One they won a title, one they lost. The one Chris Jenkins hitting the game-winning shot,
yeah,
which I didn't see the end of, because that's the famous night that my dad disappeared.
Yeah,
and we couldn't find him. So I remember those two nights vividly. That was April 4th, 2016, fellas. For those of you
that's
keep track.
That's today.
9 years ago today.
Yeah. April 4th,
2016.
2016. When my mom called and she said, "I've lost your father." What?
Yeah, it's like, what does that mean?
She said the alarm. He got past the alarm. Anyway, I had a moment.
You're right.
Blushing it.
Have a moment.
Bigger than Mexico.
Deserve a moment.
So let me ask you about, how's soccer going for you?
It was cold last night. That game started at.
Did you wear a hat, or did you put your ding dong hood on?
No, I wore a hat and I had a hood on.
Dude, you kill me with that thing. It's like you're like a 6-year-old when you do that.
Does it have like the little fuzzy ball on top?
No.
I rock those. I would rock with those. He does the thing, and then he just looks real little kiddish. Like, they have cool things for people on the sidelines that have cold weather jobs, and he's just, nah.
I don't care. If I'm cold.
And you always have like the cool pants and stuff and shoes for like wet weather. Like, how do you not have any like fashionable headgear? You know, like a little fedora with the flaps, or
I put a knit hat on, or a toboggan, or whatever they're called. Wherever part of the country, whatever part of the country you live in, you can call it whatever you want. I call it a knit hat, not a toboggan or
I thought a toboggan was a sled.
Yeah, so did I.
People in like Ohio area call it toboggan a knit hat.
Really?
Yeah.
New to me.
Yeah, I thought it was like one of the big sleds.
Do you know what they call that? A colloquialism.
A what?
It's a colloquialism. It's a word specific to a region.
I call them beanies.
And or beanie, you could call it that. Beanie or knit hat is acceptable.
I don't think beanies cover your ears.
I know there's like a difference between a beanie and a. I don't know what else they'd be called.
Is the beanie not covered in your ears? Is that a like people that don't look like me and look like you, Damon thing? Or
not necessarily. I mean,
I'm just asking. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
You mean like glasses wearers and non-glasses wearers, or?
Yeah, that's what he meant.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Well, I figured.
Clean shaven versus brush cut.
I mean, he's got some stuff going on. It's not real clean shaven.
Although
oh, you mean the head, not the face.
Yes,
Okay.
I'd rock the gray. I'd like a little more gray like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I should do a brush cut once. Think it could work.
So where would it not come back? Top down the middle?
Right in the middle.
Well, you could do a reverse mohawk. Bring that back.
No.
No. I think that would be kind of cool.
No.
The kids would love it, man. You'd be on the sidelines or covering stuff, and they'd be like, "You may start a trend."
You could wear a smaller hat then. Just cover the ball spot.
So it would be like a reverse. You give me Hurley vibes, though. Like if you let some of it come back, doesn't he?
He gets so mad when people say he looks like Hurley.
Oh,
I don't care. I don't care. I honestly don't care. But like it's
Jerome. I had
it.
no idea. I promise you.
I don't see the resemblance of me and Hurley at all, to be honest. Like,
you know what?
Yes.
You know what it is now that I think about it? It's your ability to go on a Cussfield rant in milliseconds that gives you some Hurley vibes.
That's very true. I could do that.
I think it's it's low hanging fruit, right? It's the
Right.
bald with the glasses, and like you can both be a little surly sometimes.
And like deep pocket eye, like darker eyes, I think is probably part of it. And we both could just pop off on you in 2 seconds.
Got that right. You scared me last week, man. I didn't know whether to say I'm sorry or are you joking. And
No,
not joking.
I'm not.
It was not. When it takes me more than 10 seconds to read, you're not playing.
Yeah, no, I mean, so last week, here's actually what happened. So I was, waiting and I waited, and Severe, like my guy, Michael and I are friends. We're all friends. And I actually had.
Ravi's not my friend.
I had a tree guy coming at 9:30.
Yeah.
So I had to go. And I was like, look, I got to go.
No free shout outs, but did you like your company?
Yeah, just a random guy.
Really? I have a broken branch, and I don't have a saw. I suppose I could borrow one.
Broken branch? Like how big of a branch?
It is probably, if you think of like a rake, it's probably the width of the end of the branches, like as it fans out, and the thickness of probably 3 handles.
That's a decent size.
Oh, that's not. You want me to just climb up there?
Yes, that would be awesome.
No, I
It's
climbed.
already kind of split.
Yeah, just
that'd be great.
I'll show you a picture. I climbed our back tree. So we have a big evergreen in the front and a smaller one in the back. In the back, I just climbed that tree because, the snow, whatever stuff. So I was up there Sunday, Saturday, sometime recently. My wife comes out. She goes, "What the are you doing?" And I was in the tree with a pair of lockers in my hand.
Does your wife have a potty mouth too? I haven't heard her cuss.
She says fuck a lot, yeah.
My favorite is that you censored yourself like 10 seconds before that, and then you just say it.
You don't have any idea. I'm terrified. We're getting Verghese.
No,
in Chicago.
Yeah, the Chicago trip. Yeah, you're in trouble.
I hope he's hungover, but he doesn't drink a ton now.
Yeah. So Damon, you want me to roll by and check out this tree? I'm more than comfortable of climbing.
I will not be back home until tonight, but yeah, anytime this weekend you come on through because it's kind of bugging me, and you can help attach my drain spout back too.
Attach your drain spout? What do
you know what a drain spout is?
Yeah,
the things that kind of attach to your gutter
come down and
yeah.
You don't know how to put that back on.
Well, I think it takes 2.
Depends on where it's connected, where it's located.
Well, is there a screw or
Yeah, there's the 2 little stupid screws, which you'd think by now there's better.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they do anything.
They don't, except frustrate you because you have to bend them to get them back in.
Well, they just the ones on the side. You just have to screw the side in.
No, it takes 2, and it's probably 9 feet up, and I'm not.
Oh. That was my question: is if it's up off the ground.
I'm not interested.
Yeah, that's a little harder.
I'm not interested.
You got ladders?
Everybody makes fun of them, so they're apparently not good ones. I'm just telling you that right now. The 3 people that have gotten on them, one of them was Jernigan, and I've
seen a picture of it. Don't use it.
Is it a wooden ladder?
Make that 4.
Is it a wooden ladder?
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it just chimes in out of nowhere. The only time he's not.
And Jernigan is like a hunter. He's like a dude's dude, and he's like, I'm not getting on that POS. he's like, does Zoe use that for her playhouse? And I was like, wow.
We got it. Josh Dix, Creighton.
It is
Let's
final.
go.
Lock it up.
Breaking news.
Go.
Did you hit send?
Just now.
Did you hit send?
Yeah, I just did right now.
Let's go.
All right. Do you want me to love on you and give you a retweet, or are you famous?
Do what you got to do.
What? Damn.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sorry. I'm way distracted right now.
Yeah, you have the attention span of a guppy.
Hey,
you know what's
go, baby?
Of that black squirrel
you're
that's
happy.
in my
Listen,
backyard.
I'm just going to tell you about my friend, in loose quotes, Ravi over here. So we're on this group chain last week.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, Mac was in Iowa City. He's fresh off the press, yada, yada, yada. These nerds.
Whoa.
Young Jacob, my main man, Matty D, and this guy, go into 88 different messages on usage, efficiency, best player available, how he fits into the offense. It got so out of control. I had to put the phone down.
That was mostly Matt and Jacob. It was because they were talking about like the AOC comp versus some other people.
He's I didn't get the AOC comp.
I didn't either.
Other than they're both white, I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
I was mostly putting emojis on Jacob's messages. That was my contribution to the conversation.
I think Jacob is the fun, non-funny person I know.
Yeah,
Jacob is
to be or not, but he's very funny.
He's hilarious.
Jacob?
Yes. I know. It doesn't seem right, but I think he is.
He'll just come at you with like a side eye shot that you didn't know.
Yeah, he'll hit you with like some. That's the thing with Jacob is that they're so unexpected when it happens that you're just like, oh, he got me.
So in the group text, all he texted was the one line out of context, kind of, that I said about hunting.
Wasn't out of context at all.
Where I said something about I
really like the stalking and following.
And I was like, that probably did some explaining.
Damon, you can't say that. You're black. You can't say that. That won't go well.
Every time I think I want to go out and hunt with some of my buddies, it always asks me. I'm like, look, man, I've seen Surviving the Game. I know how you treated Ice-T. I ain't doing it.
You're not Xavier Leggett with all the horses and the outdoorsy stuff.
And I'm certainly not eating. What do you eat? Raccoon?
Bear?
That's what.
No, one of our other people ate bear.
Yeah, pass. Although they said they duped him. He didn't know it was bear at first. He thought it was just regular roast. And then I watched a guy on TikTok yesterday smoke a bear leg.
Oof. Pass.
Hard pass. I'll let you go to work, man. You give the family my best when you talk to him. His dad is cooler than a fan.
Yeah, he's great.
And we got to pick Mac's brain because I'm telling you, a lot of thought went into that.
Yeah, like
a lot of thought from
a lot of thought. Like he's a 50% shooter from the field and a 41%, 42% 3-point field goal shooter. A lot of thought.
Historical concept here. You guys ready? Wants versus needs. He distinguished between the two and won the war. Like, gotta give the devil his due. Wants versus needs. Did you need Josh Dix or did you want?
You wanted. Everybody wanted him.
Depends on what your goal is.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
Everything has its price.
It certainly does.
And to get it, here's also something too. I don't know this for a fact, but I'm pretty positive that Creighton didn't offer the most money.
No, I'm pretty positive too.
Yeah.
Like I'm
100% positive.
Yeah, I mean,
I said, good on Coach Mac.
Yeah, feel real good about him that happening. So
hey, guess what else? You got Price landing in Lincoln?
I think so, right? Not sure how that all.
I love him. After that year I love him as a person.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that all fits with the season and they're kind of similar, but not really.
We can't have more than two good shooters on the floor. Don't over it. Let's go get a bucket getter.
Do they have two good shooters on the floor right now?
Well, they could with Price and Connor.
I thought that was against the rules in Nebraska. You can only have one at a time.
I don't need to hear from you right now.
Yes.
You're in punishment.
Oh, my bad. What I do?
Hey, Boise State though. Boise State's really good, by the way.
I'm telling you, is the line out? I looked at it, Jerome, and I was like, how?
I don't know if Nebraska can get that one done. Boise State's good. Like
you liked it? Oh, it's 2.5.
I've got a 1.5.
Sitting tight.
Probably about right. I mean,
you think that's right?
It probably even-ish, whatever. Yeah.
I don't know.
I do think Boise's really good, and
now here's the thing, though, Jerome. You know how I think. The line lets me know that it's right. It in my head. Watching both these teams,
you think Boise by 3 or 4?
I would have I'd have put it at 6.
Oh, okay.
Also, one thing, Cale Jacobson just got paid in the last 2 games. Like someone's paying that man some money, either to stay at Nebraska or go somewhere else or do something. But the 2-game performance he's had, changed.
I momentarily forgot what Handy was.
Really?
Well, I watched him all year, and he never shot the ball. if he's playing. So now that he's shooting, I was like, why does he keep going? Oh, that's right. It's natural.
Yeah. He's a solid guy. Like it's that decision will be interesting to see, like if he does go in the portal or not.
I think you owe me an apology too.
For what?
Because I asked you the question out loud 2 months ago with Ravi, and I go, is there a part of you that wonders what would happen if Cale Jacobs? I asked you specifically, and you were like, I mean, typical Jerome fashion. And I ate it. I ate it because I was like, okay, I'll take it. And right? Did you not kind of let me have it?
Yeah, a little bit. I do, I love Cale and followed him obviously his whole life. It just is interesting to see. And now there's more questions like, why wasn't he playing more? Why wasn't he playing throughout the year?
I get it. I try not to get into that.
I do too. I do too. But it also is one of those things like maybe they could have used him a little bit more. And this situation is so different.
Half my own show. That's fine.
People were trying to compare Georgetown, like the Creighton loss at Georgetown, to the Georgetown team that Nebraska just played the other day. Two totally different teams, like the injuries and all that stuff. So let's not, that's the hardest part about doing this job is the transitive property stuff. I don't like that. I don't like that very much, but it's hard not to. You have to do it somehow. So
we know our lane, Jerome. We just got to stay in it.
Yeah, like soccer games that get over at 11 p.m. on a Thursday.
Don't those kids gotta go to school?
It's so cold.
Bro, it was cold.
Oh, it's cold out here.
It was cold and dark, and I got home at like midnight from it was a very good girls' high school soccer game, though. I will say it was very intense and played fast and all that stuff. Even though it started 40 minutes late and went into overtime. But it was pretty good. Like Southwest and Lincoln East are both really good and really athletic. So it was pretty good, kind of entertaining to watch. They don't like each other very much though either, too.
Like a game when I was a kid, we called it getting our licks back. You got your time back from last week.
Yeah, sorry.
You got your licks back.
Hey, and you broke some news. There you go.
I'll get some licks. Show you that.
All right, we'll talk to you later, Mike.
Yeah, that's not going to age well right there.
Hey,
that's
cut that, Shane.
That's not going to work. God damn it.
Bye. Jeez. Bye, Jerome.
Italy.
Bye.
That's our guy, Mike Sautter. We'll be right back.
By the way, we'll have Vrzal up next. He's hopping.
Yeah, we gotta go because I gotta leave a couple minutes.
All right, let's take a real quick one. We'll come back with Matty Vrzal here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Was walking away from the sport the hardest thing you think you've had to do in your career? How long did you know that it should be Danny Busman Kelly to take over?
And we went hard, and now it's Danny's turn.
Omaha wins a classic at Tyler Anderson Field. Coach, take us through just what this late run has meant over the past really 8 days. We talked with Drew just a moment ago about that Creighton game. You suffer a loss here at home, but you guys have been rolling since that moment. What's changed with this team?
Well, after last week's midweek with Creighton, we had a really good practice and kind of changed our offensive approach, and really just the whole mindset of the team was the talking point. And we've told our team we'll never be defined by one game, but how we respond in tough moments is going to define the season. So they've done a good job so far, but we've got a lot of work to do, and a really good opponent coming in with North Dakota State this weekend. So the mindset needs to not only stay the same, but take it up a notch for conference play.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live. Now let's find out what Matt Vrzal is better at. Telling stories or making pizza.
Matt.
Matt's an exceptional young man.
Matt Vrzal.
Happy birthday, Matt.
You know, Matt, he's a tremendous athlete.
Matt Vrzal.
Come on, Matt, I'm with you.
You know, like Matt Vrzal, you're one of the sexiest people in the world, but you're not one of the most beautiful. How does that happen?
Here is Matt Vrzal.
All right, Matt, thank you very much.
Welcome back here on Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We are joined now by Matt Vrzal, former Husker, owner of Pisons. What's up, Verz?
What's up, fuckers?
Matty,
how we doing this morning?
You sound like you got a little marbles trick. How you doing?
Well, you haven't been following along because your boy got, I think I might have had something bad at the airport because we had issues last night.
Okay, so so listen, this is funny because I get made fun of for this, but you're really good also at what you can intake and not, and knowing where you are. How did it get away from you?
It wasn't like booze or anything. I just all of a sudden, like, my guts just turned upside down, and we were eating at Mia Francesca, and I was like, oh, we are in trouble. Like, we're in a bad spot. Something, and it wasn't the meal at Mia was great, but it was before that because I had just taken like 2-3 bites at Mia, and I was like, oh man, something from earlier is not going well. So your boy had to bail, and we were in one. We didn't know which end it was going to come out of.
Hey,
so we were struggling.
I've been there. Did you do? You don't have to say if you don't want to, but I mean, it's us.
There's the boys right there, bellied up to the bar.
Hey, geez, man. Hey, did you have to do the quick flip or wait to flush and clean and then before you flipped, or were you just like, forget it?
It was all angles. I'm really good at math and angles. So the toilet was close enough to the shower, and then you're cleaning up, which is terrible. We were in a bad one. We were in a bad way, but bought some chewable Pepto-Bismol, so we're getting back on the horse.
I'm floored because you're the master of knowing your own body.
Yeah, dude, but it wasn't. I'm boozing at the airport, and I had it wasn't that I ate before I went to the airport, and something in my drink at the airport was off.
And so when did you start eating and drinking? You usually don't like to mix the two, do you?
Well, this trip all cards are off. Like, all bets are off. It wasn't, I didn't have a meal at the airport. The items in my drink were off.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Did you get fruit?
Nope.
Oh, you and your own homemade additives.
Nope. No, I wish. That'd have been way cooler. No, it was Bloody Mary.
Hey,
and I don't know. A couple of things I was, Bloody Mary, you get olives and pickle. And one of the olives, I took a bite of it. I was like, ooh, that doesn't have the olive sensation.
I don't even know. That's what garnish.
That olive may have made it to the bottom of the bin, and now is in my drink. So.
How many times have I told you about garnishes are overrated with that stuff?
Yeah, wrong. But anyway, so even when we were on the plane, when we got on the plane and we they got the first round of drinks out, and then we hit some turbulence, so we didn't have to pay for drinks. So that was great. And I'm like,
it looked like you were in the pilot's his lap. Who took?
No, that's Limo Lou. That was Limo Lou picking us up at the airport. We were out of the plane.
That you said he never disappoints.
No, Limo Lou is on point all the time. Like we text him like, hey, the pilot took a different route to go to Chicago. I think we may have been over in Europe for a while. Like it was the longest 45-minute flight in the history of mankind. But Lou was like, don't worry about it. I'll just circle around. So he circled around and picked us up, and away we went. But yeah, even like on the plane, like I was in a bad spot on the plane.
Oh, geez. I would be. See, these guys make fun of me, Matty, but you don't, because you know I'm prepped to travel for flight 30 hours in advance. 30 hours in advance. I'm not messing around.
I got the mouth sweats. I was sitting there, you know how your mouth starts sweating, you know you're going to get sick. I was like, oh, we are in a bad spot.
Yeah, Ravi, Ryan, those guys make fun of 30 hours before travel. That's just OCD and no, man, it's because of stuff like that.
Ravi does like to judge if you are an OCD or an ADHD or
judge you, big judge.
I also
he is, isn't he?
Also, the guy was really trying not to poop my pants in front of Matt Rule and Indy. So like, he's got some points here.
Listen, this dude stopped every 2 hours, Matty. It was the most miserable experience. The music was horrible.
Oh, you're gonna get a live performance from one of the members of the trip.
What happened? What are we listening to?
This is Gary.
How we doing? Oh, hi, Gary.
What's up, Gary?
Gary flew in. Where you fly from Nashville?
Yeah.
You live in Omaha, but you flew in from Nashville.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was he doing in Nashville?
Didn't need my wingman's help last night. all is good. The redhead missed you.
Yeah, I know. Tyson's sitting there. Tyson's in from Georgia. That's his pops now.
Where's Mikey?
That sweatshirt. Hey, Shuey, Paulie.
Wow.
Yeah, Paul, would you? Stand up.
You're a total mess.
Do you see that sweatshirt?
I do.
That sweatshirt right there has made probably 55 opening days.
Oh, wow.
55.
1973.
73 that was bought.
Hey, are you hoping for where are your seats this time?
We are, 2 rows from the visitor dugout?
2 rows visitor dugout?
Yeah.
All right,
so should be on. And the camera guy at the stadium is from Grand Island.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
so we'll be on the TV.
I get it. You have mafia ties that know everybody, but how did you finagle that?
So when I put the trip out there, people just message me like, "Hey, my son works the camera." I was like, "Great. Tell your son if he gets me on, I'll give him some free pizza when he comes to Omaha." It's all barter system, DB. It's all barter system. He may have kids. You could get them a full scholarship to IMG North.
Okay.
Just thought.
Dean Blandino. It would help me a lot if you guys got a win today against the Padres.
Why are you getting scared?
No, but I don't. I don't like the Padres. I don't like them a lot.
How come?
Because they play in the same division as the Dodgers, and they try to be the Dodgers. They're not near as smart as spenders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, Damon.
Yeah, just not a father's guy. So
Are you worried they're more hard edge? Like when the season comes down, the Padres are going to beat them?
Are you nuts? They have Fernando Tatis Jr. There's nothing hard edge about him. There's Hollywood, more so than the Dodgers.
So he hits freaking bombs. Wait till he gets a torpedo bat. He's going to hit him out of the stadium.
He doesn't need a torpedo bat. He got PEDs.
Yeah, another 80-game suspension wouldn't necessarily bother me from him either.
Ooh, what do we got there?
Billy Goat Tavern. Check it out when you're in Chicago.
Wow. Hey, Maddie.
Hey, Damon.
Are you sad that I'm not there?
Yeah, you should have come. Well, Mike Yu, our guy Mike Yu, he couldn't make the trip either. He had some health issues. So shout out to Mike Yu. Hope you feel better.
So Jeff's deal is this morning.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I told you that.
But Mikey has had like some issues, like
Do I,
bad.
need to, do I need to check on him?
Probably, maybe to shoot him a text.
Okay. He does. He won't.
Who'd you have on the show today?
What'd you say?
Who'd you have on the show today?
Guest or my two bobbleheads?
Yes. I don't know. The bobbleheads are weird.
Timber. Okay. Hey, Judgy, zip it. We had Tim Verghese and Jerome Sautter.
That kid's pretty good. That Verghese kid.
He
I like
is.
him.
He's good. He's really good.
He does a good job.
He lets me get in the weeds too. If you don't stop messing with that camera, why are you you trying to finger me in the eye, or what are you doing?
No, I'm looking at that jersey. Is that a New York Mets jersey, or is that a Knicks jersey?
The Knicks Carmelo jersey.
For somebody that doesn't like Deion Sanders, you have him on a lot.
I love Deion. He
No,
doesn't.
okay.
I don't like.
Oh, Ravi doesn't?
He loves Deion. He's his favorite.
Are you? What's the weather like?
It's actually beautiful right now. There's little to no wind. It's like 45. We may get crazy lucky. It's not supposed to rain until 5 o'clock. So.
Oh yeah, you'll be.
No, I think we're good.
You're 120, right?
Yeah, 120. Yep. So we should be done with everything by the time the rain starts. But yeah, we'll be here for probably another half hour, and then we got to go back to the hotel, and then the driver picks us up, and we're going down to we're meeting our friend Carol and her crew down at Rizzo's. She's got a table down there for us. So
who's Carol?
Carol is about how old is Carol? Probably 70.
So you got to thank Carol.
No, but Carol's been in and out of the trip for quite a while. It's crazy, like how many people.
I was like, wow.
What?
I thought you were going to say the joint. She's been in and out of the joint.
You kind of need to get your mind out of the gutter, Damon.
No,
very unprofessional.
Institution. I'm not even like that. I'm just saying, like, blocked up. You
kind of think you are.
Okay.
What else you got? What else is going on? I wish I was more hungover. Normally I'm more hungover, but I was, like I said, in a bad spot last night. Drank a lot of Pedialyte.
Yeah.
A lot.
So what was the drink of choice? Because this is really the only time you drink.
Yep. Vodka soda. Just throw down some Tito's and sodas. I went on my wave, but I had my issues.
Why did you need olive?
But I was okay, since we can't put 2 and 2 together and come up with 4. I was drinking a Bloody Mary at the airport.
Okay.
And some of the things in the Bloody Mary I don't think were rotated correctly.
This dude says
So that sent my innards into a tailspin.
I mean, who doesn't drink Bloody Marys at nighttime? I don't know. Yeah.
It was in the afternoon. I got to the airport. like 3:30. Yeah.
How many times you been at dinner and seen somebody order a Bloody Mary? It's a morning drink. I would not have put 2 and 2 together. Well, you're weird.
I drink those every day. I drink them. I'll drink one at the game when I get there. They're delicious.
Keep watering down that old vodka with that soda, buddy.
How come you let people dictate when you can't drink a drink, Damon? You can drink whatever you want whenever you want.
Hey, listen, you don't tempt me. You already know, man. I straddle a fine line between insanity and discipline.
Some people I know will hammer out a watermelon neutral and a shot of vodka at like 8:30 in the morning, not at night.
If you wouldn't have said watermelon, I'd have had no idea who you were talking about. I was like, ooh, sounds like one of my. Oh wait,
you're like, I know that guy.
I may have looked him in the mirror. That's fine. 8:30. I was probably in a mood. You know, or 2.
That's just called Friday. that's just called 2 day.
So anywho, why did you start there to Prime to go back to the hotel to go to the game?
Oh, this is tradition. So we come here every year.
No, I understand that. Why didn't you just get ready, go there, and then go from there to the game?
Well, because right now, like there's layers to this. So right now, if you bring all of your crap, you're hauling shirts and gloves and hats. So you come down here and you get a couple drinks in you, and then you go back and you grab all the all the shit that you don't want to carry the rest of the day. So you got to carry it then. Because if it does, listen, that wind starts blowing out of the north, you're gonna hope you have like long sleeve everything. So
well, don't you
instead
just
of carrying it
put
all
your
around.
put your gloves in your hat and your back? You still do the back pocket thing, so you don't have to carry a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I do, but I got this awesome Under Armour. It's probably one of the best things I've ever bought. It's a long sleeve Under Armour, and I'll just have this jacket and that Under Armour, and I'll be perfect.
Did you buy extra deodorant?
I think. No, I got pants on, so no deodorant needed. I did forget. I'm pretty sure I forgot my gloves though, so we're gonna see how that goes. We're gonna let it run. See if our digits can make it through.
Where are you staying?
We are staying at the embassy over off. We went on Clark. I think Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah, went over to the bodega last night after I had my issues, and Adis is the guy at the bodega, and he goes, "Oh, baseball." He goes, "Vodka." I'm like, "Yep, that's me."
I don't think you can do the accent.
He goes, "Baby drink." I was like, "Yeah, it's right there. I'm gonna get some of that." He goes, "Yeah, good. Why can't I do that?"
I'm just telling you, I have no idea what ethnicity is from that reenactment.
Do you want me to really lay it on?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. He doesn't work. He doesn't work for us. I would like to have him lay it on.
And Adis loves me, so I don't know what you're. See, that's the thing. People get too uptight. Like I have a weird voice, or people can make fun of me. That's fine. I take no offense at it.
Yeah, I can.
We're too uptight as a society. When I used to do this one, man.
It's not even what I sound like, which is funny,
isn't it? Isn't it?
No, it's not.
Isn't it?
Who's ruling the roost over at
when we're running cover 3 and we this guy fills.
I open my hands now.
Oh, you do? Handsome Dooches is running the show.
All right.
Because Connor and Footy took off. They got a little tradition now. They go to the Final Four. So I think they left at like 5 this morning to drive down to San Antonio.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Wait a Can Footy are they cool to like do what they want to do, or is it because they're in a different state?
What do you mean do what they want to do?
I thought they were had to be a little more disciplined.
No, that's over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're good. That's been done for a while.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. Like,
one of them got in trouble in Kansas, and one of them got in trouble in Omaha. So now, yes, we're all in the clear. We have no juvies.
My man. All right. Well, be safe.
We'll see. No guarantee.
Hope that stomach clears up for you.
You keep chewing. You're doing how I think.
Chewable.
Chewing those down.
Yeah.
I mean, good luck opening back up at some point.
Hey, bud. From the past 6 hours of my life, I will make that trade.
Let me just tell you, Verse, from somebody who went through this recently. Make sure you stay on top of it. Don't think you got it beat. Stay on top of the Pepto.
Of the Pepto?
Yeah. Like take it on the scheduled maintenance, like it tells you to.
Every half. What is it? Ravi says every half hour.
Just pretend like it's 800 milligrams. You know what to do.
Yeah.
I took 6 of them. Jesus, you trying to kill me? 800 milligrams, I'll die.
I'll say 800 milligrams might be a good.
Hey, it ain't ever
2
stopped.
tablets every half hour or 4 every hour. I got 6 in already, so I guess we're not following the rules.
Well, I just don't think you got it beat too early. That's all I mean. Don't think you got it
Trust
beat
me, after last night, I trust nothing.
Especially not olives.
All right. See you, boys.
We'll be
back. Hey, you
back.
fuckers. Have a nice day.
Actually, Shay, let's just call it a show for the day. Is that cool?
Yeah, I'm down with that.
All right. That's the show for the day, for the week, for the month, and maybe even the year. No, probably not. We'll be back on Monday. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.